Welcome to Virtual Mimics and Gimmicks, where a bunch of idiots pretend to know what they're doing and in the process torment me with their vicious mockery. I'm your friendly neighborhood dungeon master and player punching bag Anastasia. Playing Troy, our half-wood elf ranger with a taste for bear blood, is Sean. As Magnus, our dark and brooding tiefling rogue, is Clint. We've got Ryan playing Biren, our furball cleric who prefers liquid courage, and Tatiana playing as Poofers, our wily tabaxi barbarian. Finally, we have Amanda playing Eravir, our sexy high elf sorcerer with hair and heart of gold. We're just going to jump straight into the recap today as my cat screams downstairs. It's very distracting. But let's go ahead and get started on that. All right, last time on Dungeons & Dragons Ball Z. After witnessing the appearance of the tear in the sky, the first definitive sign of the oncoming ruin, our heroes wasted no time setting out for the next quest to reclaim another world-saving artifact, of which little is known. As they trekked toward and through the sands, their search led them through villages possessed by mysterious knights and to the gravesite of history's greatest hero. Finally, though, they made a great discovery. Our heroes found an entire lizard-folk civilization hidden in the valley of the vast rockscapes of northern Arsenfell. While the lizard folk are normally hostile to outsiders, the Pharaoh allowed the newcomers into his city of Oshri in hopes they may be able to help root out the leaders of the supposed insurrection. The party was quick to locate the alleged rebels, only to discover they are a ragtag group of hopeful teenagers led by Bast, who insists that the old philanthropist Reshi is the rightful Pharaoh. Unlike most lizard folk, Reshi is capable of magic, which is the mark of the divine right to rule. Our heroes are faced with the decision of whether to turn Reshi over to the Pharaoh so that he may be sacrificed and made an example of, or to instead support Reshi and Bast and overthrow the Pharaoh so that Reshi may take the throne. They opted for the latter and are now in the final hours of preparation before their plans are put into action. Did our heroes make the right choice? What are the possible repercussions for interfering with another society, let alone one closely watched by a very picky god? Let's find out now on Dungeons & Dragons Ball Z.
Hey.
So, as I said, it is just the last few hours before your plans are finally put into action. It is currently the day before the Holy Sacriste, a time during which the god of the city Zook is provided with a sacrifice, and the Pharaoh wants that to be the leader of an insurrection. You promised him you would deliver this person by noon. You have a couple hours until then. But you're sort of going to double-cross the Pharaoh and instead are turning Reshi in as a way to get him onto the sacrificial altar, at which point you're going to turn and fight the Pharaoh or whatever. That was the plan. You made a few plans last time, some cleanup tasks. You wanted to talk to a ferry driver who is an acquaintance of Bast. Her name is Caro. And she is supposed to be on the fence about this issue, but you want to persuade her to ram the boat into a bridge that leads to the palace, so that guards that have been lured out by some of the rebels can't get back in to help the Pharaoh. That's kind of where we left off. You guys still probably had some concerns and questions to sort out, but we did leave off when you were speaking with Bast about this ferry driver.
All right. So where we left off is sorry, where are we?
So you had just finished speaking with Bast and telling Reshi that you're gonna get thrown in the dungeon and probably tortured.
Yeah.
That's like the last thing we had done. And
okay.
But like it's cool because
so we're still in conversation. Okay.
Yeah, you were asking Bast like, what can we do about this bridge? And he's like, well, I'll just ram a boat into it. And then you're like, this is basically the road to El Dorado. And then I said, yes, that is exactly what my plan was.
Got it. How does Reshi look right now?
A little bit horrified. He is a very composed person, and even when, this is a pretty serious situation he's in, having magic in the first place, let alone all these people relying on him, having the whole future of the city at stake. That's a lot to put on a person, and he's very composed, and he keeps it together. But being told that, we're just gonna hand you over, and you'll probably get, tortured and questioned, he's understandably a little bit more distressed than usual. But he isn't overwhelmingly so. He's not hysterical or anything like that. He's just kind of sitting solemnly, considering everything that has led up to this point.
Okay. And is Bast and Reshi in front of us right now? Or has Reshi kind of stepped aside?
he has stepped aside, and I think I actually said that he had like gone in to put all of his affairs in order,
Gotcha. Okay.
knowing that things would be different if he came back. So you're currently talking with Bast. Reshi is like nearby if you wanted to talk to him. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. I was just gauging if Reshi was a flight risk.
No. He's your best guess is he's not the kind of person who would do that.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay. Sure. I suppose we should wrap him up. We're gifting him to the Pharaoh. Okay. I suppose we should finish up talking to Bast. So let's talk to Bast. Bast is...
He's like, he was sitting here as the whole world was put on pause for a week.
Yeah.
Now time is resuming, so you're still in a conversation.
Okay. So, Bast, what do you think is the best way that we should deliver Reshi?
Well, that's really up to you guys, isn't it? You're working for the Pharaoh, I assume he just wants a prisoner.
I just wanted to make sure that when we're able to coordinate with your teams, with what they're going to do in the city, light some buildings on fire, that everything was timed correctly. The other thing that we need to do as well is we need to communicate with... Bast was the one that gave us the contact, right, for the boats?
Yeah, he's giving you like the name, basically.
Yeah. What was the name of that ferry driver again?
Her name is Carol, but to speak to your sort of concerns about timing, once you take Reshi in, we won't really be able to contact you again.
Gotcha.
Everything will have to be sorted before then. We know that the ritual starts at 8:30 in the morning, so however you want to plan around that.
Understand. Well, we definitely want to get Reshi to the Pharaoh sooner than later. He's already pretty impatient as it is right now. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else that we need to do beforehand.
You think maybe we should have one of us like at the bridge location or something like that, so we can actually use the warning comms for good communication, and then if so long as we're on the correct side of the bridge, right, when that gets destroyed, we could still then meet up with, as soon as the destruction happens, we can still meet up with the rest of the party.
What
Who's
is
our
a warning
most
comm?
mobile person? That's a nothing. It's just a concept. We know each other so well that we can just hear each other's thoughts sometimes.
Yep.
He looks at you with a mix of confusion and amazement, but doesn't understand the human magic, so just lets it be.
Who is the most mobile of us?
It's probably you or me.
I can run really fast. I can
Yeah.
run really fast, and I can double my run twice. Double my run.
Can't you also run up walls? Like you could run up the tower wall real
I'm
quick?
an excellent climber, let me tell you.
Cleo speaks up for the first time in a while. She's usually just a passive observer.
McCloey.
Cleo, I don't have one of these communication devices or anything, but if you want to stick together, I know you guys are kind of a group, I can always run up after. If you wanted me to stay at the bridge.
What do you guys think? Will you be okay without your tank, or do you want me to, or will you... She's also kind of really good at stuff,
Well,
so...
I might be a good candidate for the bridge. I might not be the fastest at getting back, but I do have ranged attacks, so when the bridge is out, if I need to pew on the other side or something, I've got the best ability for that. And I do have a grappling hook. I don't know, just the most versatile physically there.
The grappling hook could come in handy.
I will say that the balcony that the ritual takes place on is like pretty high.
It's a primo grappling hook.
Have you seen my grappling hook?
I created your grappling hook.
So you know it's good.
Yeah.
Maybe we should let Cleo run in to save us when we're all about to die.
That sounds good.
Okay.
So speaking of timelines too, we kind of have a 2-3 hour deadline to meet here?
Seems
Yeah.
that way.
That's today,
Yeah.
right?
Do we want to speak to the ferry contact before?
Well, what time are we having this all start? What time should he have his people set fires? 5 minutes before? I mean,
I
Well,
would
we need to
think
give him
probably
enough time.
right as the ritual starts.
well, we
Should do everything at once.
We probably want to let the fires build up and get a big thing. And how long does the actual ritual take? You know, like what if he's like, we're just gonna speed through this and stab, right? Or
Well, it's more of a tradition, you know. There's a sort of art to it. There's speeches and everything.
I
Oh,
think a little before though, because you want the guards to be responding and give them time to notice it and then react to it and then take out the bridge all before somebody gets stabby.
maybe we should start start the burning in the city right before the ritual, and then crash the bridge right as these speeches are coming to an end, so that we can get it right at the moment.
Yeah, I think crashing the bridge should be after the ritual starts, but the fire should be before.
Yeah, because we want to get as many guards on the other side as we can.
Well, if the
Makes sense to me.
speeches take as long as it sounds like they're going to take, I think that's plenty of time for guards to empty out and try and respond to the city, but not enough time to do anything about it.
Well, let's hope that he doesn't get overzealous with it if he's excited about who he's sacrificing this time.
All right. So do we want to go talk to the ferry contact before we turn Reshi in, or do we want to turn Reshi in now and go try and talk to the ferry contact?
Well, I think we need to confirm that somebody's going to take care of the bridge, right? Because we have no confirmation. We just got a name. Like, we haven't actually got to talk to her in that Chloe
Carol.
Carol
What time
Carol.
is it right now?
is going to be about it.
It's about 10 in the morning.
We
And
got a
you're
couple hours. We should go.
supposed to
Yep.
bring him
Well-
back at noon.
I'm also worried that once we bring him back, the Pharaoh's going to be like, well, you guys might as well hang around. No need to...
Mm.
You brought me
Yeah.
the guy, right? So
Yeah.
How do you say, oh, we have things to do? He's going to be like, what things do you have to do? And then we have to make up a whole
Right.
lie.
Yeah.
So we better take care of what we need to before we bring him in, is my point.
All right. To the ferry contacts then. Bast, does this sound all right to you, this plan?
So you want us to start setting fires at 8:30 when everything starts?
Yes. And then we will crash the bridge probably right before the actual ritual takes place.
Okay, I think we can do that. With regards to Caro, though, she's pretty uncertain about it. You might have to find a way to convince her.
Does Reshi want to come with us, maybe? And prove his...
Ooh. We
Magic.
disguise Reshi, and yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Well, she's aware that he can cast, but she's not certain that he's the rightful Pharaoh.
But he can
She
do
doesn't
magic.
really
So
like
does
to
that.
disturb the peace.
I mean,
Does
neither
she
does
have
Reshi, right?
advice?
What did you say, Magnus?
Does Carol have some kind of vice or something that she's extremely passionate about?
Do you like chocolates?
You know?
Well, she's very lucky to have the job she does. You know, if the authorities were to find out that she is involved in this, she's putting her entire livelihood at stake, and if she's lucky enough to survive that, she'd be made a slave. So you'd have to probably offer her something pretty good.
Does she? I'm sure we can talk to her and see if she has a adversary or something like that that has a more different ferry that got crashed that we can frame.
I kind of nudge Magnus. I'm like, these people can buy their own hotel with a piece of gold. I think we might be
Mm.
okay.
Yeah, but okay.
Okay. Okay. We deal with Caro, but how do we approach dealing with Reshi? Do we bring him along, disguised, and
We
then
should
drop him
probably
off?
bring him with us, and then, because otherwise we're gonna have to come all the way back here and get
It's only
him.
2 hours. We got to drop him off.
Yeah.
Only
And
2
it-
hours, and it's a little suspicious if we show up exactly at noon and be like, "Hey, here's our guy."
And I say in Oldish, and just to make sure he doesn't get cold feet on this whole idea. Let's bring him with us.
Fair enough.
Reshi wants about 20 more minutes to kind of wrap things up. I mean, he is potentially walking to his death.
Can we
so
disguise him while he is wrapping things up?
how do you want to disguise
He's in the
him?
makeup chair and we're, doing
Well, I'm
stuff.
pretty sure Magnus is a master of disguise and might have a disguise kit.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he
Give
to
him
be fair,
like a monocle and a mustache.
to be fair, he's a pretty nondescript old lizard man. But he just wears like a long cloak that covers his body. You know, he's not like doesn't stand out. So, what are you interested in doing to him?
Let's see.
Probably alter his face somehow.
Yeah, I'm thinking, taking a picture of my canvas. I think we should have Erebir put some good makeup and make him at least 20 years younger.
This is fun. So,
I'm gonna need a re-roll on that hotness check.
I'm gonna need whoever's actually working on him to roll just a straight wisdom check. You don't really know.
Wisdom.
You don't really know. This is because you're deducing things. You don't really know how, or you can roll investigation. You don't really know how lizards age. What is considered like beautiful or ugly. You don't really know the nature of their aesthetics, other than that they all look like lizards.
He's
with penises.
hideous.
I mean, we can look at the other lizard folk around us and have a pretty solid comparison.
I suppose that's what the
I mean,
investigation
it's
check
just
is
because
for,
they all
right?
look like lizards, right?
Yeah, but do we have like an
Racist.
elderly-looking lizard?
Yeah,
Oh.
that's why I'm letting you roll instead of just saying you screw them up.
All right.
So,
Well, I mean,
Roll him if you got him.
Erebir's the one doing the makeup.
All right, wisdom.
Yeah.
Aw,
it was pretty average.
12.
Average.
I mean, he looks different. You can't tell quite, like, you can't see quite how well he's disguised. He like, you think he looks different. You put some foundation on his scales, maybe livened him up from his gray complexion a little bit. But I mean, like, to you it looks fine. You're not really sure how well you did
Well,
relative to other lizards, though.
Is there another? Is there another lizard person like in this area?
I mean, Bast he keeps his eye on like Reshi. He kind of doesn't
Okay.
let him out of sight.
Bast, what do you think?
What has he done? He looks different.
He looks
but,
beautiful.
I'm not sure this was necessary, but I mean, if it makes you feel better, I guess it's fine.
How long did this take us, by the way?
This was the 20 minutes that he needed to.
He has to.
Yeah.
You can't be
Throw
walking
stuff up.
around while he's like,
like
saying
a famous
goodbye
person.
to children, and you're like, let me just get a.
Hold on, little. You gotta
No, we'll
open
say
your
that collectively this took 30 minutes, so you have an hour and a half left.
Oh, jeez.
Chased him around with a makeup brush. No. Just one more.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. I guess, Reshi, I understand that you need to say goodbye to everyone, but to make this happen, we need to go.
Also, you're gonna be fine. Be able to see these people again, no problem.
You're gonna be the Pharaoh.
Even if that's the case, it's a different situation. They won't see me the same. It's not something I think outsiders can really understand.
I suppose not.
But he kind of like understands what you're saying and gives a last farewell, and you guys can. He pulls up a hood, I guess, to help with the back of his head where his feathers are. And to get from around Area C down here all the way up to where the ferry station would be, which would be like kind of up here, it takes about 30 minutes of walking. That said, it's a very quick walk to the palace, so you have some time to find and speak with Carol. Nobody seems to recognize you as you're trekking through the city. I mean, they recognize you guys. They don't seem to like pay much attention to Reshi. As you're walking through the city, people make way for you. Rumors have started to spread about the humans hunting a lizard person. None of us are human. Yeah, but the humanoids, whatever, the outsiders. And so they probably assume that the lizard in the cloak and hood with the weirdly tan face is the lizard you're looking for.
Right.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
Say weirdly tan. I say bronzed and glowing.
It's a beautiful summer day.
so you can make it up to the ferry station. There are about 3 ferries that are like actively being loaded right now. How do you want to go about finding this lady? And what do you want Rushy to do? Do you want him to just follow you, or do you want him to wait out by the docks, or?
Does Rushy know who this lady is?
Probably not. He's been trying to stay out of all of Bast's crazy planning, so.
Is there like a I don't know, like a kiosk at the dock or something like that? You know what I mean? Like some kind of place where
Is there a
boats report
concierge
to.
I could talk to?
Yes. Where's the bellhop?
Informational tour book.
411, please.
There's definitely not a
Pamphlet.
tour kiosk, but there would be some. There would be like a station where the administrators are keeping track of all the inventory and everything like that.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to go there.
All right, there's a middle-aged lizard man working, doing calculations with papers in hieroglyphs because it's fun.
Are they chiseling it in, by the way, like into
No,
a
they're
rock
using
or something?
papyrus.
Oh,
like,
okay.
yeah.
Just making sure.
Yeah. And you approach and your shadow is cast over him. These lizard people are big, but he's seated, so you like shadow cast over him, and he notices that and looks up and is surprised to see let's see, a furbolg, a tiefling, a half elf, an elf, and a tabaxi, and another human. Actually, there is a human in your party. Cleo's a human.
Something walks into a bar. Yeah, got it.
Yeah. And he just kind of like drops the writing utensil he's using and takes a moment to compose himself before looking up at you, pushing up some glasses at the end of his snout. Says, is there something I can help you with, outsiders?
Yes, I'm sorry to block your light. We're doing some investigations on behalf of the Pharaoh, and we were just curious about some of the ship captains. We were just trying to find one of the captains. We just had a couple questions.
Is one of our captains suspected to be a
No.
traitor?
No, we were just curious if they saw something out of the ordinary.
Looking for witnesses, as it were.
Sure. Is there one that you were particularly interested in speaking with?
Yes, she goes by, and I pretend like I'm looking at like notes or something. Pharaoh.
It's like that gif where it's like, I'm pretending to write something down.
Yeah.
Carol, yeah, she's on duty on ship 3 back there. They're loading it and we'll be sending out in a few minutes for the lunch delivery. You can probably catch her before they set out.
Excellent. Perfect. Thank you very much. And then I hand him a single piece of gold.
He like really grabs it fast, pockets it, and like looks around to see if anyone saw that.
A nickel.
Yeah.
That'll never get old. Okay. And I'm sorry, it was on ship 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Now let's go over to ship 3.
Okay. So you go to the third ship in the line. It's almost full of like supplies and carts and stuff. There are a number of slave laborers, moving boxes and sacks and other things onto the ship. You can kind of pick your way between them and board this ferry, and kind of leaning over what would be the sort of steering device of this. I'm not educated on, nautical ferries, so whatever the steering device of that would be. She's kind of like leaning over it, waiting for the supplies to be finished. It's just like a red lizard lady, and she's got like nice pink and orange feathers adorning her. She is fairly well dressed relative to the other, well, definitely relative to the slaves, but relative even to the administrator. You can tell that this is kind of like a high class position. So she'd be in like the upper echelons of society, not necessarily nobility, but like up in the working class. She sees your approach and turns to you, speaking with the only lizard voice I can do. So, she says, "Is there something you needed? We're heading out soon.
Yes. And as I'm walking like along near the water, I start to get nervous. Poofers, she's orange too. You want to take care of that?
I mean, I guess. Hello! We have come with. Is there anybody in earshot or is it just her?
Slaves, for sure.
Slaves.
Earshot.
And I kind of go like, Bast sent us to talk to you.
She gets a very annoyed expression at the mention of his name. And she says, "Hasn't he bothered me enough?"
Well, I think we can make it worth your time. And I kind of like discreetly pull out a gold, place it into her palm.
She looks at it and like pockets it and then doesn't seem fully satisfied. She's like, "Okay. This'll buy my time, but nothing else."
Okay, listen. I know that you don't want to risk all of this that you have here. Kind of like motioning to the boat and the slave. I go, but what if I told you that this city could be in a much better position that it's in if you just helped us take down a bridge?
You can't be serious.
I am 100% serious. Also, does it help to know that your god chose this guy? And I kind of motion to Reshi. I'm like, Reshi, do the thing.
He kind of leans in and says, "What thing?"
Anything.
And he kind of shuffles closer and bends down towards your ear and whispers, only to Poofers, I have to be on land to do it. I use earth magic."
Oh crap. Excuse, could we take this conversation on land really fast?
And she says, I know what he can do. Listen, I'm all for doing what Zook wants and everything, but the Pharaoh's been in power for almost a year at this point, and nothing has gone wrong. And I'm not convinced that risking everything I have means I will be equally as fortunate in the future. I don't know that this is going to pay off.
And why are we here?
I don't know, honestly.
You don't think it's from some divine interference that has sent us here to this place that nobody else from any of our reaches have made it before?
Well, the Pharaoh has indicated that you're here to find the rebel leader, and she looks at Reshi.
Look, we're not viewing it so much as rebel leader as much as rightful heir to the throne. Something really bad is going on here when the person on the throne doesn't really fit what Zook wants. Clearly Zook blessed Reshi here. And I think it might displease Zook that your city's following the wrong wizard.
I point up to the giant rift in the sky. I don't know if that necessarily means everything's going great since the new Pharaoh's in power.
Have we mentioned impending doom if that comes to fruition?
Can one of you roll an intimidation check, please?
I think I'm more intimidating.
Ironically.
Although maybe not, because I think intimidation is... Oh, I'm fair. I've got +5. What do you have?
3.
Okay.
The
Take
tiny
proficiency
tabaxi
in
is...
intimidation.
No.
I can notch an arrow. No, okay.
Sorry,
Wouldn't
it's
it
not
be
activated.
some, like, persuasion in there, too?
No, because you're kind of threatening her. Like, your god is going to be unhappy and, strike you down or whatever.
16.
She seems to consider what you said and does look up at the tear in the sky a few times, which they refer to as the Eye of Roth. They have a different belief about that. And she says, "Fine, here's the deal. I'll do what you want, but if things don't work out as you're expecting, I want out of the city."
I mean, that's fair. If things don't go as we're expecting, we're probably going to have to book it. You're welcome to join us.
All right, well, what's the plan?
Does this waterway go all the way out of the city, or does it stop?
It does pass the gate, but there's a barricade at the end. A boat wouldn't be able to get through. Not to mention, it's going to be destroyed if it rams into a bridge.
Real
We
quick,
don't really have an escape plan for us.
2 boats.
What are you guys carrying on this boat? Anything that could do a little extra damage to the bridge if we crashed into it?
Mostly food and, clothes and other sort of necessities.
Okay. And it's alright, I'm gonna go take a look around.
Actually, I'd really prefer you didn't. It would look really suspicious, and I don't feel like getting arrested today.
Alright.
If you're concerned about getting out of the city, maybe we should somehow send a line to Bast that if things don't go well, Caro needs to leave the city.
I won't survive in the desert on my own. I'm going with you guys.
Okay, look. Can you get yourself to the pyramids outside the city if things go funky?
Yes.
Alright, we can meet you there if we also get enemy, because we're gonna have to fight our way out of here. If we don't show up, it's because we didn't make it, but if we can, we will be there to meet you.
And do you have some sort of assurance of this? Something that I can hold on to that's important to you?
Important things. What kind of technology do they have in this city?
It's the mainland civilization is definitely more advanced, mainly because they have magic. And
Do they have timekeeping devices?
they use sundials and they have little wrist versions.
Okay. I pull out my watch that never shows the right time and I go, how would you feel about a timekeeping technological advancement? More accurate than sundials. You just need to learn the numbers on how to read it. Very, very valuable. Where we come from can be sold for a fortune.
Roll a deception check. Okay. That was an 18. She takes it and looks it over very carefully and then says,
Yes, I think this will do. But you better come for me. I will keep it.
We're good at keeping our word. Don't worry. We
Just
are
like
good.
That's good at
We always try, okay?
Alright, well, what's the plan here? What time am I supposed to commit treason against the Pharaoh?
Have you been to one of these events before? Do you know how long the speeches usually take?
This is the current Pharaoh's first such sacristy day, but in the past the Pharaohs have taken about 10 or 15 minutes to perform their speech and the sacrifice is performed right after.
Would it make more sense that once the fires start, that they should just watch for the guards to go over the bridge?
Yeah, but we also don't want to give enough time for them to run back. Okay, so here's the plan. I think Barry is right. When you hold your boat before the bridge as long as you can until you see masses of guards running out into the city. When most of them are over that bridge, crash the bridge so that they can't get back over.
Alright, and assuming all of this goes perfectly and Reshi's on the throne,
she looks at him suspiciously or skeptically, and says,
will I get to keep my current position or will I be thrown on the streets?
and he, does anyone speak Draconic?
But I can comprehend languages.
Yeah, I can also learn languages as well, and learn to speak them.
Essentially, if you do you want to cast Comprehend Languages, because he'll be replying in Draconic.
Sure, I'll cast it.
He basically tells her that she'll be guaranteed a position of high power and authority.
Okay.
She seems satisfied with that.
Says, alright, time to throw my life away. Anything else you needed?
Nope, the life throwing is wonderful. Thank you. Well, we'll either see you at the pyramids or we'll see you out here after it's all finished.
All right.
Bon voyage.
She ushers you off the boat as it's pretty much time for them to leave. And this whole exchange has taken, I don't know, you had about an hour and a half left. We'll say it's taking 45 minutes. You have a small amount of time to do any last minute things if you wanted to talk to Reshi. Otherwise, you basically have to bring him to the palace at this point.
Reshi, are you ready for this? Is there anything that we can do to make this easier for you?
I'm not sure if one can be ready for this, but if you all truly think that this is the best thing for the city, then I'll oblige and I will follow through with what you want.
Do you know
Focus
much
on the-
about... Go ahead.
Focus on the fact that you are doing what Zook wants.
Kind of
If you
nods
know
silently.
how the guards operate, do whatever you think would make them happiest. If that means confessing to the whole thing so that they, interrogate you less, go with that.
I think that any form of resistance would probably be much worse. So I suppose I'm as ready as I'll ever be.
But also remember, don't mention us trying to help you in any way.
Don't tell them. You can tell them 99% of the things, just not about 6 of us.
I'm sure that they're well aware of you, just not of your involvement in all of this heresy and treason.
All right, everybody, are we ready?
Think so.
Let's go deliver a present.
So as you approach the bridge, which is guarded by a couple of guards, they demand as you approach,
Have you brought the prisoner? Is that him?
Yes, we've brought him.
He seems very willing. What did you do to him?
We made him see the error of his ways. I think you'll find him quite willing to confess to his treason.
I have ways with potions that can make people do things.
I don't know enough about potions to be able to refute that.
and they allow you passage inside. As you I assume, sort of surrounding Reshi as you all walk to kind of give the illusion of him being a prisoner.
Yeah.
Bring him inside the palace, all the way up to the sort of throne room, Pharaoh's main hangout. Pharaoh's in his throne. Reshin is here, as well as a number of guards. In fact, an increased number of guards, because they were expecting a insurrection leader to be here. So you enter the chamber surrounding Reshi, and the Pharaoh sort of sits up at your approach and looks excitedly, but, tries to maintain this sort of like regal authority. Says,
Oh, so you finally found him?
Yep, that's exactly what we did. We found him for you because that was our job.
Bring him forward.
And I kind of try to deceptively push him forward, but it's going to be like a light push.
yeah, he stumbles forward. He is old. And
I was trying.
yeah, he's not hurt. The Pharaoh kind of makes a hand motion, and a couple of guards come and kick him to the ground, so he's in a bowing position, and keep their feet on his shoulders to keep him down. And the Pharaoh stands and looks at him with disgust and says,
Oh, I was expecting someone much more heroic and noble. Not an old man. Well, there'll be plenty of time for questioning. Go ahead and take him to the dungeon.
and they kind of kick him along and start dragging him away.
As for you six, what can you tell me of your investigation and discovery of this, and why are you certain that this is him?
Yeah, everyone's like, oh no. Well, it did
You
take...
expect him to just accept it?
Yeah. Well,
Yes.
it did take some time, Your Highness, but investigating around and understanding the habits of the commoners helped us find the leader, where he was conspiring in some of the areas that we were searching through.
Oh, and which
It's
area did you
helping
find
the
him?
poor people.
The audacity. Which area of the city did you find him in?
Section C.
And what of his
The poor
conspirators?
people's sections.
It actually seemed like he didn't have that many conspirators. People seemed to whisper about him and come to him for help, but they didn't actually admire him beyond using him. It's this whole weird thing turned into a conspiracy theory. The people don't love him, they love you.
He kept.
As it
kept
should
act-
be. Russian, bring the map! And Russian lays out a city map in front of you on the ground. Please highlight the area exactly where you found him, as well as any other locale of importance. We want to make sure that anyone who conspired with him whatsoever will be taught the proper lessons.
And have
So-
we, real quick, have we spoken Oldish in front of anybody?
Bast.
But not in front of like the Pharaoh or any of these
No.
people
No.
yet.
And they don't know we can do magic.
Right.
Well, here's the thing. They haven't seen you do magic, but they wouldn't be surprised if you could.
Right.
And wasn't technically wasn't Bast over like near
They're
like
in
B?
C. Are they in B?
Yeah.
So you originally you passed
found them
by
in the market.
Reshi in the
Yeah.
marketplace, but their little hideout was over here to the west of C.
Gotcha. I think with that knowledge, we'd want to point somewhere not directly towards where Bast is.
I think.
I mean, do we point somewhere like?
I mean, you guys don't really have time to discuss this. He's like sitting there watching you.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
unless you immediately switch languages or sit there discussing telepathically, which is also suspicious. Like they're gonna know something's going on.
yeah.
We can't do telepathic, right? Because
Only if.
Only if
Yeah.
Aravier messages everyone individually.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna walk up to the map and take whatever drawing device and be like, it was definitely here, and I'm gonna circle an area, and then I'm gonna wait a minute, and then I'm gonna walk to the other side of the map and go, I think I'm looking at it upside down. It was here. I'm gonna circle a different area, and then I'm gonna go, or was it here? It was somewhere here, and I'm gonna do a bigger circle around a more general area and go, I'm sorry, it was somewhere in this area, and then make like a slightly bigger circle.
They look horribly unamused.
Is there anyone in your party who has any recollection of where you went literally today?
so when we picked him up, we were hearing whispers about his very, very small conspirators.
Conspirators?
Yeah, that very small group, supposedly meeting up tomorrow evening after the events transpire, over, and I point to where we talked about the so we were gonna have the fires kind of show up just around A, right? Just before over.
You
by
were
the
gonna
gate.
have them show up.
We're gonna have them on the
couple
government
essentially.
buildings. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I would say the over. I don't know how to make dots.
That
You just
thing.
hold.
But
you
the far left,
Okay.
like the upper left area, and so it's over away from where we're gonna have the fires, so we don't get added guard influence or anything like that. And I would circle that area, and I said, "They're supposedly we heard whispers about them having meetings over here, and maybe tomorrow evening, after your events transpire, they're supposed to meet up. Nothing's confirmed, but we did hear something about that."
I thought you said there were no people who supported him, yet they're going to go meet up.
No,
We
so it's
actually,
very little.
we didn't, compare notes. We split up and I found him. So Magnus here is telling you what he found and I'm telling you what I found.
So which of you is correct about his conspirators?
Magnus.
Right.
Because I didn't have that information at that time.
So the very small people going, because we had to scour the entire city to figure out who was the traitor, and dividing up the little whispers that I hear, and I hear a lot of them, but the little whispers I hear are there's a small group that is very loyal to him that's going to meet up over there tomorrow evening.
Did these whispers tell you any names?
I didn't hear any names. I tried hard too.
All right, and what other information do you have of you about the intent of the insurrection? So close to Sacre's Day, I can't help but be suspicious.
It's from what they were saying. Again, they were meeting up tomorrow evening, I think, to then discuss whatever it is that they're trying to conspire against you with.
And you have no idea what that might be.
And he sort of stands up more nobly and says,
Need I remind you, well, perhaps I never mentioned it in the first place, the greater wealth of information you have, the more generous I will be in thanking you for your assistance.
We appreciate that, and very much so, and we understand, and money does mean a lot to me, trust me. But I can only tell you what I know, and instead of me just straight up lying to you, I want to tell you what I know, and I know that they're going to be there supposedly tomorrow evening after all the events transpire to discuss it. I wish I could give you more, and if you want, I can make up names, but this is what I know.
And the rest of you, if you all surveyed the city, what did the others find?
They were with me.
You
we
split
were
up 4 and 1.
Yes, because
I'm very
he's
good at what I do.
excellent. You know those
Very
horns on top
sneaky.
of his head? They help him hear. They can detect frequencies. It's a whole thing.
I know that we're a little off from mainland, but even I know that is not correct.
Do you? Magnus, what did I say right now?
You said I should show that my hands are quick enough that I can just take anything I want. And
all the guards immediately draw their weapons.
I say, just kidding. Not going to do it, though.
That's
Everybody
exactly
relax.
what I said. See, he heard me.
He is an excellent spy, Your Grace.
All right, well, I suppose the rest of the information I can withdraw from our prisoner. And you're certain that it was him. Do you know why they would be supporting him specifically? He seems like a weak old man.
I think it was more that he was just offering help to people, and they wanted to use that help.
As I said, helping the poor people.
And why would they
You know-
not simply continue to make use of him in that way instead of risking everything by trying to question my authority?
You know, it's hard to understand these peasants. I mean, they don't have the intelligence that you and I possess, the nobility, everything that obviously that you have, and sometimes we don't want to lower ourselves to try to understand these filthy peasants.
Well, flattery is, of course, much appreciated, but in the case where my throne is at stake, I actually would like to understand the reasoning here.
Your Highness, if you'd like, after the ceremony, we can go over there and maybe try and find out some more information.
I think that with the names it provided, we will no longer be in need of your service. I was trying to get a bigger picture before any sort of threat may arise tomorrow.
Well, again, I didn't hear anything arising for the ceremony. It was more post in the evening or maybe the days to come after.
All right, well, if you are sure, 100%, that this is the man, then you may retire for the evening, and you've served your purpose. You are welcome to
Thank
stay,
you.
and in fact encouraged to stay through the ritual tomorrow, after which you may depart.
We would be honored to be the ritual. Thank you.
And he kind of like turns around with a flourish and throws his like cool little skirt thing. It's like dressed as a pharaoh, so he only wears like the skirt. And goes back to his throne and begins discussing something with Russian very quietly. I think we should scoot as fast as we can out of here to our room.
Shuffle collectively.
Yeah, shuffle. Well, speed walk. When you get back to your room, Seki is there. And she's just placed a sort of like tray of goods there and is like picking at them before leaving. It's like she like put it down and like turns around and then like turns back and grabs a piece and then like starts walking away and then like turns around and grabs another piece, and she's just been doing this. The plate's like half gone at this point, and then you walk in and her mouth is full and she's like, oh,
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to your room. I've just laid out some treats for you.
I can see that. Thank you.
Where did it all go, Seki?
That's all they gave me. That was all that was on the tray.
Ah, I see.
Those palace rats, lizard rats.
They're just smaller lizards. They're just like large lizards.
Yeah, they're small little lizards.
Small little
Like in
lizards.
Futurama with the owls, but they're just like
Yeah.
lizards.
Exactly. Is there anything that we can help you with, Seki?
Oh, just doing my part. I'm gonna get going. I guess I'll see you in the morning then.
And she like starts to rush out.
Was there something that we were supposed to do with Seki? Not that I could think of.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're left alone in your chambers for the rest of the evening until tomorrow morning.
Guys, we
weren't
gotta come up with better lies.
You weren't explicitly told you couldn't leave the palace, but there was an implication like your purpose is served. We want to keep an eye on you. So
Yeah. Great. Lovely. Okay. God. That was stressful, guys.
I'd like to look around the room, make sure there's nothing like no
Bugs.
listing type bugs or
I mean, they're not really that advanced, so
no person behind the painting kind of thing.
okay. Roll an investigation check.
There's a chameleon on the wall looking at us.
Like Randall from Monsters Inc.
Yes.
You take a quick glance around the room. Everything seems to be in order, except your food's missing. But it's mostly like raw meats anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Pooper sticks in.
Yeah. Aravier and the other non-carnivores have been a little bit hungry this trip. You're not starved, but you're like a little hungry. Most of the food is not really to your liking.
Barry can make feasts.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's true.
Yep. It's fish and water and bread, I think, something like that.
Yeah.
Very-
so it's been
very
it's been
cheesy.
basic.
It's definitely not water.
Yeah, it's definitely not water. That's a modification. But well, I suppose everything's in order now. Do we have anything else we need to do?
Get some rest for the big
Mm.
day.
Have you guys? Just to confirm with everybody, we haven't seen him perform any miracles or any magic or anything like that.
We've
in
seen
front of
Reshi
us.
perform magic.
Reshi, but not the Pharaoh.
The Pharaoh.
That's
The
what I'm saying.
Pharaoh did some weird kind of eye roll in the back of the head thing, but it could have been an act, and we know that his scepter has magic, but
Right.
I'm not too sure about
But
him.
we haven't seen him perform anything impressive yet.
No, and I don't want to go ask him to either.
Right. Just making sure that nobody has any other great tactics or anything you could think of.
I mean, I think hopefully things go smoothly tomorrow, and the Pharaoh just doesn't have any powers, and
I think the best thing we can hope for is that these people are right about their traditions and only one person here has magic. Because if not, we're in trouble.
So, I will give you some information just in case you would like to try and strategize. You have not seen the sacrificial altar area. You know it's at the top of a tower that's a couple 100 feet high that looks over the city, and that the sacrifice takes place on a balcony. From that, you can kind of deduce that the actual area is probably open air, as well as fairly small. It's not going to be hundreds of feet of battle space, per se. It's indoors in the sense that it's in a confined-ish area. But again, probably open air if it takes place on a balcony.
gotcha. I just remembered something. Magnus, I have a confession,
Uh-huh.
and I pull out a magenta vial.
There is no... I checked my coat.
You have a magenta vial.
Okay. There is no way you switched this.
So it was a while ago, and it was actually Callie that did.
I instantly grab it.
Are you letting him take it?
Yeah, I let him take it.
Okay, you take it.
Holy crap. I'm going to remember this.
Well, the reason that I'm giving it back is because now that we've been through so much, I think that you can hang out to something that's pretty dangerous. If things get pretty crazy, you should probably use it.
Wait a second. What is my... So I open up my coat and I look at it. But then what is this? And the other magenta about it.
That turns your tongue magenta.
First immediately grabs the
So
vial
it's
from
paint.
from Magnus.
No, it's mine.
I'm jumping to try and get it out of your hand.
Can we get a dexterity contest, please?
All right. It's not a dex save, just straight dex roll.
Yeah.
Dang it. Yeah.
That's really sad. That was really sad, you guys.
Yeah.
That was
A
really
6 and a
sad.
4.
A W is a W.
I'm like, what was that we just
I'd
saw?
like to point out we both rolled 2s for that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And Magnus's dex is higher, so he won.
Wow. All right. Okay.
So yeah, Poofers is jumping and you're just kind of like pulling it up. It mostly is easy because Poofers is being so, like, I don't know. What happened to you, Poofers, to make you this way? Are you tired?
What do you mean?
You're
I want it.
You're just not very good at jumping up right now. Like, you're not being
Well, see,
as...
this is like me trying to catch a bug. I'm not going to go full force on that
Okay.
poor bug. I'm going to smash it.
I mean, it's for a
Right,
potion
it
that
would
turns your
suck
tongue
for you to
purple.
fall on my sword.
All I'll say is this, Magnus, is when you use that, make sure that the subject is weakened enough.
Well, thank you. Now, since apparently I'm an adult, do I get to know what it freaking does?
Wouldn't it be entertaining if it just kind of happened?
Okay. Do I have to make them consume it? Or can
You
I
just have to throw
put
it
it
at
on my
them.
sword?
How do you administer?
How do I
this?
administer said apparently non-paint?
You just have to throw it at them.
And
You
it
have to get
explodes?
the potion on them.
Okay, so the potion just needs to be physically on my victim.
Yes.
Magnus,
Let's just
I want
say it'll
the
have a
tongue
very
paint.
bright effect.
Question: how high does
I'm
the
gonna remember this.
is the balcony from the ground?
It is 200 plus feet up.
Because I'm
It
assuming
is-
we'll be on the ground and they'll be on the balcony that we'll need
You-
to get to.
We'll probably be invited to the actual, like, area.
Oh, okay, cool.
But it is certain death if you fall off of that.
Unless you got a sweet, sweet grappling hook.
Unless you have Featherfall, in which case it is not certain death.
Unless I do have that potion.
That spell, yeah. But yeah. Are you guys ready
Well,
to go to bed?
Yep.
I
I'm
think
gonna
so.
I
sleep with
am
one
not-
eye open a little bit, but
I am not sleeping.
I trust
well.
Magnus.
I stay up. Pretty
Okay,
fuming. I'm
if you
pretty
stay
fuming.
if
Not
you
like-
stay up, you're taking a point of exhaustion.
Not like fully up, but I'm still pretty fuming. It takes me a while to go to sleep.
Okay. You guys have to get up early. So because the rest of the session is probably gonna be combat, do we want to take an early break tonight, or do we want to stop combat?
Ooh.
Okay. So let's go ahead and take a break now.
Combat?
All right.
Who could have seen that coming?
Not
second,
me.
I'm
I
here
thought it was
for
gonna go
this?
smoothly.
Your damage dealer's here for combat? This is weird.
Weird. All right, guys. We'll be back soon. 1.
Welcome back. Let's get going. All right. You guys wake up in the morning on the much anticipated Sakrish day. And, I mean, you had a restful night, maybe kept up by pure unbridled hatred and anger, some of you. Some others might be a little anxious or nervous about what's to come this day. A lot of investigation and uncertainty are about to be put to the test. So you are woken up early, actually, by one of the palace servants around 7 in the morning so that you have ample time to get ready and make it to the altar area by 8 a.m. I'll ask if there's anything that you do special this morning, or do you just kind of go about your day, get ready, and are what there?
I do some stretches.
Okay, 20 minutes of stretches after waking up.
I kind of ignore everybody.
I kind of look like Winnie the Pooh.
I go over to Magus and I pull out one of my telescopic cups and I fill it up and hand it to him. And I don't say anything, I just hand it to him.
He knocks it out of your hand to the ground. No. What do you do?
No, I take it, but I take it like begrudgingly, like kind of angry, but like a thank you kind of thing.
Hoofer's not so slowly sidesteps toward where the fake magenta potion is.
I say no. I'm gonna smack her hand.
He's
So
probably
you know, a little
keeping
bit.
it on him, like in his cloak or something.
Yeah, it's in my.
I can see Pooper's like sniffing around on the ground, like trying to get under the cloak.
You know what the best part of this is? Your mouth is already pretty pink. It's just gonna
It
be
could
like,
be pinker.
True.
yeah. All right. So after your morning stretches and hair of the dog drinks, you are led over to the altar area. Whereas before this tower had been blocked off by guards, it is now still heavily guarded right now, much more than before. But you're allowed in, being led by one of the slaves. Let me bring you up to the palace. Okay, so this altar area, you climb a lot of stairs to get up here, and essentially where you are is an open air lounge-ish area with a throne where the Pharaoh is not yet. I just put his token there because it's easy. There is a bunch of nobles in the sort of area behind that isn't like included in the map there. Reshin is off with them, sort of socializing and schmoozing and all of that. But this is a very nice area. It's even got like little fountains up here. It's very nice. There's like 5 or 6 guards in your immediate vicinity. And there's a bunch of food set out. It's mostly raw meat and stuff like that, but there are some fruits. Like there's some grapes over there and stuff like that. Reshi's not out here yet either. So essentially, just to give you a lay of the land, this is the balcony over here that looks out over parts of the city as well as the river. It feeds off directly into the river if you were to jump off. This area of the floor is not a wall, it is like level with the floor, so this balcony doesn't have a railing at the end. These on the sides here are sort of mid-sized railings. They would go up to about a normal person's like hip. They are just meant as like little guardrails kind of. And then they sort of over here slope up from that height to a full height where there is just a sort of top bar and a continued bottom guardrail. Over here, these are not full walls. It is sort of open air with curtains that billow out as wind blows in. That makes sense. So they're not full walls, they're open walls. Which means that this whole area is very open air. There's a couple of stairs here that lead down from this upper noble area to the altar and balcony. Does that all make sense? You guys have any questions about the map?
Just a
Can
compliment.
somebody be drop kicked off
Yes, in theory, if you can get them to the proper place.
You
That
can most
also means you
definitely
can
try.
be drop kicked off the balcony.
It's going to be a lot of Spartan kicking going on.
That's just all you see.
Yeah. Any questions or anything? No. Okay.
I like the depth perception that you created with like the
Yeah, it looks nice.
yeah,
Thank you.
The
It took
water
me
looks
a long
great.
time.
yeah, very cool.
I even made the water sort of reddish because it's like deserty. You know? Anyways,
Just the little details.
yeah. So you're brought out here. For the sake of mechanics, we are cutting that. You can't go past this like border here. You know, this is the map that we're using. There are a number of guards in here, and at about 8:15, the Pharaoh, followed by some of his sort of attendants, arrives out and immediately takes the throne. After giving a nod to you and the rest of the nobles in the room, he casts more of a skeptical or suspicious glance at all of you, and the guards seem to have a particular eye on all of you. But other than that, things seem very peaceful, and they're just kind of waiting for the time to arrive to start. So, you guys have a few minutes if you want to gorge yourselves. Otherwise, you're just waiting
Yep.
for things to start.
They say not to fight until 30 minutes after you've stopped eating.
I think that's drinking.
They also say that with drinking though, poopers.
Cleo says you have to stay hydrated, so
I mean, you know, you gotta
Is
be decadent and whatnot.
isn't Cleo elsewhere?
well,
How does the food actually look appetizing, or does it look
yeah, it's nice.
okay?
Thank you for the reminder, Troy, because I forgot. It's the food looks appetizing in the sense of the ones you can eat look appetizing, unless you want to eat the raw meat, which you're more than welcome to make a Constitution save for get salmonella.
I take a couple of the grapes.
Yeah, they're good. They're fresh. They're yummy. All right. With that, the Pharaoh, the time arrives 8:30 a.m. And to clarify, you wanted the fires to go off at 8:30.
Pretty much, yeah.
Just
Like
before.
when the speeches start, kind of thing.
Um,
So that it can't be canceled.
yeah.
But
So right around 8:30, the sundial strikes, and thank you, Clint, for appreciating my joke. And
It's the joke. Troy's all about sundials. It makes sense.
he sort of comes to the edge here. Across the river underneath, there are all of the citizens of this town are all watching this day. And he begins a speech in Draconic. I didn't write this speech, so if you comprehend languages, it's very great. It's wonderful. If you want to waste a spell slot doing
Very
that.
noble.
Yeah. But the speech goes on for about like 5 or 6 minutes, and you guys are starting to sweat a little bit. Before you're looking out across the horizon, you hear a sort of hiccup in his speech, and start to see smoke rising in the sky. A sure sign that at least part of your plan is firing off right now. He kind of snaps behind his back, and one of the guards, who was originally over here, runs off and goes to deliver a message somewhere. About 10 minutes into the speech, you are looking over and you see a ton of guards running across the bridge. Like a horde of guards, more or less. The ones in the altar area stay up here, but a lot start to run over the bridge and everything. And right as his speech is nearing an end, you are, you're sitting, you're shaking in your boots with anticipation. There is an enormous crash as a boat rams into a bridge and cuts off the return of most of the guards. And the Pharaoh, keeps himself composed, and then immediately walks over here, gives you guys the dirtiest look ever. As you see the guards all kind of start to turn towards you and face you. And he beckons Reshin over, and they have a very quick discussion as these guards are watching you angrily. keeping an eye on you. They're ready to strike at command, essentially.
Something wrong, Your Highness?
He shoots you the dirtiest look ever. They have a very quick discussion, and then Russian nods, and the Pharaoh looks at all of you with a sort of like, you're toast kind of deal. But Russian returns a moment later with Reshi, kind of following him. He looks very beat up and hurt, super not in good shape. And it seems that they have resolved to not have the peasants panic, essentially, and continue on with the sort of ritual, which needs to be done to keep the god pleased anyways. Reshi is led all the way over to this altar, where he is placed on it and forced to his knees to sort of sit upon it, and the Pharaoh is behind him, and continues a sort of bit more of dialogue. Some of it seems very like, pay no attention to the destroyed bridge, it was part of the spectacle kind of deal. Yeah, I mean, he's basically last steps of the...
All right. Poofer stands up, and she points at the Pharaoh, and she goes, "Hey, listen! You got the true heir to the throne right there," and she summons her sword, and it seems surprised at its weight, and it kind of clunks to the ground awkwardly. She's like, "Oh, this is not... don't remember it being this heavy. Okay!" And then she just runs right at the Pharaoh.
Did the baby grow?
The sword is in fact heavier. Not that you can tell that visually. But with that, I am gonna need everyone to roll initiative, please.
Oh boy.
All right.
Oh my god, these
I'm
rolls.
gonna need your to call out here because it's a lot of work for me to read. Who's 20 plus? Anyone? No, 15 to 20.
16.
I am also 16. Poofers
Roll.
can take it.
Okay. Are you okay with that, Poofers?
Boy, am I!
Well, she's the one who just rushed him, so.
Yeah, it seems right.
All right, 10 to 15.
11.
Magnus also got 11.
Magnus got 11.
Yeah.
Oh, and Troy got 11.
Troy got
Can
11.
you guys roll off or choose who goes first?
All right, roll off.
Um, 16.
Just a straight
I-
point or
I
new
took-
initiative.
I just did initiative again.
Oh,
I don't
here, I'll do a new initiative here.
do an initiative.
Yeah.
Oh, I got
Okay.
it.
Troy still has it.
Yeah.
Okay. Troy, Magnus, and then Bjorn. How low did you get?
9.
Okay.
It's not one of my best rolls.
No, it's not. All right. So right as the Pharaoh pulls out a ceremonial dagger and brings it up to stab the boy, Poofers pulls out her sword instead and accuses him, and he turns angrily and drops the dagger, pulling out his scepter from its resting spot against the railing here.
Oh no.
Scepter!
And kind of the look he gives you is sort of knowing, after talking with you last night, that this would happen.
No.
I know your lies were so good, but for whatever reason, he has elected to keep you here and probably make a display of this fight. So, with that, let's get started. As you can see, you have a very hurt Reshi over here. Pharaoh's next to him. You've got 5 guards in here. Your arena is set. And Poofers, let's get started.
Let's. Okay, I'm gonna launch myself at old Pharaoh boy here. Whoop.
Okay.
Oh shoot, did you say that my macro doesn't work anymore?
I don't know, does it? It didn't work for me. Why are you bloodied?
No, it works. Thanks God.
Messed
Okay.
up, poopers.
Yeah, you're hurt.
Oh, I should not be hurt.
Yeah, I fixed it, don't worry. Got you.
That was wild.
Okay.
Can't explain it.
I'm going to try and slide and catch him low, maybe to trip him, slash at his legs, and then after the slash, bring my sword back down the other way. Got a 19 and a 13 to hit.
Can you make a dexterity saving throw for me, please?
Is it a seen threat?
Nope.
Oof.
Go ahead and, what were your rolls again?
19 and 13.
Okay, and the damage for that first hit would have been 21. Alright,
Oh, I raged too. So 21.
21 total, yeah. Okay. Poofer, you charge at him and raise your sword. And he sees you coming, and right as you're about to hit him, he sort of like phases in his existence there. And instead, suddenly, you see Viren in front of you.
Oh God.
With your very low dexterity save, you're sort of unable to halt the speed of your attack. And
Sorry, Baron.
you bring your blade down upon him for half the damage that you would have initially dealt. 13
or
doesn't
10
need to-
damage.
Yeah, so you're gonna take 10 damage, Viren, as Poofer is unable to stop her first blow from
Am I able to use a reaction on myself? It says I can take a reaction when I see somebody getting hurt. Can I use that on my own stride?
No. Anything else you want to do?
I'm sorry, Baron.
Well,
Apologize
that's a
for what
nifty
you-
trick. I'm mildly impressed, but also there's like her,
Your ankles are bloody.
yeah, her sword's like stuck in my cap. I'm like,
Yeah. Erebir. He's right next to you, and he's looking at all of you angrily.
Oh, sorry. There we go. Okay, let's see. So he's next to me. I'm going to Misty Step. Well, actually, I'm gonna Misty Step away.
All right, where are you
And-
bringing yourself?
Then I'm gonna hit him.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw a chromatic orb at him.
All right. What element are you using?
Let's go with acid.
Okay. Okay, 12 to hit does not hit.
I'm going to use Favored by the Gods for a reroll on that.
All right.
Should I just roll a d20?
Plus your spellcasting modifier. You can just click the button again and we'll use your first attack's damage.
Yeah.
Alright, a 25 definitely hits. So he will be taking 29 acid damage. So you kind of copy his move and sort of blink to another area. Over to where his throne is, in fact. And take a little bit of cover behind that and come out from behind it, put your hands here to sort of surround your amulet and arcane focus and shoot out a orb of acid at him, which he's unable to dodge out of the way for. It narrowly misses Magnus, who's right next to him. It's now the Pharaoh's turn, actually, and he's gonna do a quick slink around to be between these two, and he is going to begin by holding the scepter, putting his hands above him to hold it, and you watch it spin in the air. I need, oh, actually, this is an attack roll. Never mind. Against Magnus, it's a 23, and against Troy, it's a 24. As his scepter spins above him, it creates a sort of wave of sharp magical energy that surrounds him like a kind of whirlwind, and hits both of you for a total of 17 radiant damage and 9 fire damage. And that 17 for Magnus should be halved down to 8 because he has fire resistance.
So it's 17 plus 9?
Yes, so 26.
So 26. So I have fire resist, not radiant.
Yeah, so you're gonna be taking 17 instead.
And then I'll uncanny dodge.
Okay, I can let you uncanny dodge that, yeah. To have it down to 8 total.
8. Got it.
After he performs that action, he is going to go ahead and phase away for a moment. And let's see. He's going to pop.
He's a fast one.
Pop over here. Yeah, that's what we'll do for now. Okay. So delicious. All of the the guards get to go now. They're gonna split up here. Send one over towards. We're gonna send him. He will dash to get over here to Poofers, as will this one. This one's gonna run over towards Erebir and make an attack on her. This one is gonna run towards Magnus, and then this one is gonna dash over towards Troy, but be unable to attack. So we're only getting 2 attacks this round from them. Let me go ahead and make those. So, Erebir has not been hit. Magnus has been hit, so I get advantage on my attacks against you. The first attack, as this lizard folk basically gets on all fours and sprints over at you, he dashes at you with his claws. You're able to dodge out of the way of that, but as you do, he kind of tries to bend around for a bite with like at your ankles kind of, but you are also able to definitely dodge out of the way of that one.
Wow. Damn.
Very nimble.
Against Erebir, that guard had dashed at you in a very similar way. They kind of have the standard form of training, and he runs at you with his claws. You're not quite as dexterous as Magnus, so you're going to go ahead and take 10 slashing damage from the claw attack, as well as 10 as he bites your sort of
Can I shield him? Since I saw him attack Magnus and basically knew what they were coming. Can I throw my shield up?
Yeah, you can. And
Okay.
I think, what does that bring your AC up to? It's +5?
23.
Oh yeah, then you're able to block both hits and avoid that damage. The other 3 had to dash. So that brings us to Troy's turn.
Alright, so I kind of sling around following the Pharaoh, and as I'm like turning to his direction, simultaneously notch 2 arrows and fire them both directly at the Pharaoh's chest from my current position.
Okay.
So did that tell me if that goes twice? Sometimes there's a delay.
I did see it twice, yes.
Twice, okay.
Your first arrow is deflected off the natural sort of sheen of his glorious lizard scales. but the second is able to pierce through and hit some of that lizard meat for 11 damage.
Okay. And on the second one, I'm gonna go for disarming attack, which is you need a strength saving throw DC 15, and I get to add roll of 8 for additional damage.
Please be wimpy. Please be wimpy.
He is kind of wimpy, but that was a good roll.
Additional 6 damage.
6 more damage. Okay. No, he rolled a 16 total for that, so he does not drop his weapon. Next, there we go. That was a good idea, though. So he's still got the scepter in his hands. He's gonna go ahead and be annoyed at having been hit twice. So he
Wait, did I hit him twice?
No, but he's been hit by Erebir as well.
Erebir.
Okay.
So he bangs the scepter into the ground, and you see a sort of radiant energy expel from the crystal at the top and form a sort of halo crown around his forehead. And there are 7 little motes of energy circulating around his head right now. Magnus, it's your turn.
That's not good.
All right. Having nimbly dodged out of the way of the lizard folk that tried to attack me, I give a small little smirk because he's on his all fours. I look at him a small little smirk, and then I say, "Stand by." And my fire sword lights up, and then I attack the lizard folk that's right beside me, the guard, with my fire sword.
Are you using your familiar as a support for sneak attack?
He is, because he's on my shoulder still.
He has to be in a different square than you, so you'd have to set him off to fly, which is fine. You can do that as a reaction.
Okay.
So yeah.
And then, yeah. So I'm gonna do that. Oh, that was just the damage. I didn't actually roll a 20 yet to hit him. Sorry.
Good.
Sorry. $20 to hit and 34 damage.
Alright, that is a hefty chunk of his HP.
Spicy.
And so with that, you cut him and immediately cauterize the wounds. But he's still standing and still got blood in his eyes, ready to strike you again when it's his turn. Anything else?
And then, let's see, I already used my bonus action.
Tap him with a fish.
And so I do it, and I stand over him, just staring down at him.
Stares up at you with his yellow lizard eyes. Hisses.
I have dark red eyes. Hiss back at him.
Bjorn, it's your turn.
Cool. Let's see here. I just need to check range on something real quick. Let's see here. I am going to use my bonus action to go invisible.
Okay.
And then 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. That should get me in range to cast.
You're gonna really have to squeeze by. But
Yep. I will
Alright.
nimbly squeeze by. As long as
Can
the
you roll a
DM will allow
perception
it.
check for me?
Sure. $13.
The Pharaoh is looking right at you.
Of course he is.
But the guards aren't. But he
I
is.
do one of these. And I'm gonna cast Bless on all my comrades.
Okay. So you guys get a plus D4 on your D20 rolls.
And that's all my movement, my bonus action, my action. I'm good.
Okay. Back to Poofers. You just smacked your dear friend.
I'm going to yell, guards! The Pharaoh's a pretender. He draws his power from the scepter. Reshi was blessed by Zook. Reshi, now do the thing.
I mean, he's really hurt, and he's like,
There's no earth here.
Yes, I take out pocket sand and throw it at him.
Pocket
He does, like-
sand.
He does
like-
that Aravir or the
The avatar thing.
the avatar
No,
thing.
Actually, there's soil in the planters right there.
Yeah, I
There you
mean, he's also really hurt. Let me make a check for you.
He's
See
not
if
ready
he
to
can-
perform, poopers.
We'll make a Constitution save for you.
Can't do it with all this pressure.
Oh, it was a 1. So
This has never happened to me
can't do
before,
it.
guys.
I swear.
Give him a minute. He'll show you. I promise. And I would like to.
You're
Let's see here.
embarrassing me in front of
You're
the guard.
Can I? If I attack twice, can I attack 2 targets, or does it have to be 1?
if they're next to each other, then you can attack 2.
I am going to recklessly attack 1 of them.
Okay.
Just 1.
You're no longer invited to my wedding.
Okay, so that's a 23 and a 19 to hit.
Yes, both of those hit.
And that's
Are you attacking this one?
yeah, the one right in front of me. Correct. So that will be 42 damage.
Ooh.
Oh wait,
How much?
I could roll. Hold on. I need to roll with
You said 42.
advantage. 42. Yeah, I need to roll advantage. Hold on.
Yeah,
It might be.
Yeah.
It might be.
Come on, crits.
No, they were both awful.
Just kidding.
It was a critical failure, I saw. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, you bring your sword up. It's a little heavier, so your strikes rain down harder, but they're also harder to make. And you slash this guard twice, bloodying him, but he's still up and seems very dedicated to protect his leader at all costs. Anything else you want to do?
Can I toss a healing potion to Reshi? My bonus
Yes.
action.
Yes, you can.
I will do that.
We'll down that. He'll act on the NPC turn. Eravir.
Alright, I am also going to hit at the Pharaoh with another chromatic orb. This time, let's do some cold.
Okay. Alright, an 11 is not enough, so you're trying to cast, but this guard is like snapping at you, and it's throwing you off balance a little bit. Your shot goes wide and hits the fountain and freezes that up instead.
Then I'm gonna move.
Okay, are you misty stepping or are you moving?
Yeah, I'll misty step behind the couch.
Okay,
So,
you
I
have
could-
cover.
Yeah.
Pharaoh's turn. All of his actions reset. Okay, this is a nice fun one. I wrote all these, by the way. I'm really excited. So, the Pharaoh again. He's not in range of anyone, or like in danger range of anyone right now. So he kind of like sturdies his stance a little bit, plants his feet in the ground, and is ready. And begins to chant something, and you see his eyes glow a brilliant blue. And you hear the winds around you start to pick up. And before you know it, there are swirling sandstorms that are rushing past this area. I need everyone to make a strength save, please.
That should not be a. Damn.
So that was a
I just got a 22.
11 for 22, 23, 16. Who rolled twice?
These are also.
Troy
This
did.
is also a saving throw, so everyone can roll their d4 as well.
So that was weird. I rolled it and I got a I rolled a 22 on
Yeah,
D&D Beyond, but it rolled.
I see 22 for you.
I see.
Yeah, I see 22.
I see a 22 and an 11.
Huh. I don't know why. I only clicked it once. I don't know why it did that.
We'll use your 22 because I'm feeling generous.
Okay.
And I got a natural 20.
All right, Airveer, that literally saves you.
And we get a D4 too?
Correct.
Huh. Okay. I got
Okay.
26 then.
I think you
So,
saved.
as this sandstorm sort of rushes past the area, you notice those of you who are next to a guard that they seem totally unaffected. But, oh, that was a disappointing roll. Magnus, you take 12 damage from that. Everyone else takes 6 bludgeoning damage. And Magnus, you are also physically picked up off the ground. And
You can fly!
over here, by the sands.
Free disengage.
That's not good.
Right?
Thank you.
I'll take it.
Gimme.
Magic.
Here we go.
Not this again.
Oh,
yeah.
Salamander sprinkles some rainbow on you from outer space.
What is this? I've named things improperly. No one look at me. Okay. We'll use this symbol for now.
Oh god.
So,
Oh.
as the sand clears and everything, he's in the wrong spot. He should be like right here.
No, he was fine where he was.
As the sand clears and everything, you see a creature that doesn't. It's a very large, but it is a sort of you know what biblical angels look like, and that they're like terrifying with millions of eyes.
Mm-hmm.
It's that kind of thing, and a sort of a golden radiant light. And it appears there and is armed with sort of like spectral blades that spin around it. It's not really clear what it is or what it does or where it's looking, but that is now present on the battlefield.
Super.
The
Does
guards
it-
now go ahead.
Does it seem like it's being manifested from him, like it's being channeled?
It seems like it was summoned, but he is not concentrating on it.
Gotcha.
Okay. The guards all get to go now. I'm gonna. Oh, actually, this is fun. You do get to see what he does because he's within range of Magnus. Magnus, I need you to make a dexterity save as you're thrown over to that side of the room.
Does it count as one of my traits for the? Because it's a dex save. So if I, like using evasion. Or no.
What do you mean?
So I have a skill called evasion, a passive. It says when you're subject to an effect that allows you to make a dex save, you only take half damage if I fail
Yes,
and
that's-
no damage if I succeed.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Well, you failed.
My rolls are awesome.
So, you notice that this creature has these like spectral blades spinning around it, and as you're sort of within range of it, it turns to you and slashes out at you with those radiant blades, dealing 10 radiant damage to you right now. Okay.
Got it.
All the guards now get to go. Viren is invisible. You.
That menacing turn.
Okay. So,
You guys
Aradir,
are jerks.
you're damaged, right?
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm damaged, but
You're not at max HP.
yes, I've taken hits.
All right.
But I'm
so
also hiding behind a couch.
yes, and that increases your AC by 2.
I think we all need
What
to
is your-
remember the couches give her advantage on everything.
What is your base AC?
17.
Okay. Nice. So this guard pulls out a spear to throw at you and chucks it over at you, and you duck behind the couch just in time, and it's like swing as it hits the back of the couch.
That was a good one.
Thank you.
I just raise my hand and like give him a basically flipping off gesture.
Oh, you've made
dare
him
she.
angry.
Ooh.
Let me just mark that he's officially angry.
Rage.
He's got bird rage.
Maybe. And then the rest, we're all doing normal attacks against you. Poofers, are you at full HP?
I have taken 3 damage.
Magnus, you're hurt. Troy, have you taken damage?
Oh yeah.
So, 24 to hit Magnus the first time. For 11 plus a 15. Okay. Yeah, the second attack does not hit. So, this creature again, like, rushes at you with its claws, and is extremely dexterous at that. This time he's able to catch you and sort of rend your flesh a little bit with his claws, drawing blood and dealing, I think I said 10 damage to you.
Okay.
But you're able to evade the might of his jaws. This creature now looks annoyed, along with his friend, that they've been flipped off, but he is stuck on Troy right now.
With the creature that just hit me, after he hits me, I grab him by the throat and I use Hellish Rebuke on him.
Okay, that's a save, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Is it Dex?
2 seconds here. It is Dex save. Yeah. 16.
Okay, so that's... Yeah, that's good. Okay, 16, he fails.
Okay.
So you can go ahead and roll the damage for that. $11 damage.
11.
He appears bloodied, but not down. Now he's angry too. He's also angry. Put a star next to him. Alright, against Troy, we're coming out. Mod 20 to hit for 10 slashing damage on that first one, and then a 16 for 6 damage as he, again, comes at you with the claws and then a bite.
The 16 goes to him because my AC is 16.
Yes.
Okay, so
match
total
hit.
total damage 16.
Yes.
Okay.
Alright, Poofers, prepare for all of these attacks.
Okay.
Not gonna hit. Mod 20, and you have resistance to physical right now, right?
I do.
I'm gonna call out the reduced damages, so you have to add them. You ready?
Okay, so I don't cut them in half. I just add them
No,
together.
I'm having
Okay.
them for you.
Alright.
So that's gonna be 7 plus. That misses. That was a mod. That was a nat 20 on this one. So that's another 10, and then another 4. So one of the claw attacks is able to hit you and throw you off balance a little bit, which gives them both an opportunity to come in and bite you at 2 different spots, dealing that collective amount of damage.
Okie dokie.
Whatever that turned out to be. Troy, it is your turn.
Okay. We've only hit 2 of the guards so far, right? Poofers hit 1 and Magnus hit 1.
Yeah, I hit
Magnus
the
is-
one that's directly to my right.
Magnus has
pretty
been
much there.
messing up that one, and Poofers has been messing up this one.
How do they look?
Both look bloodied. Magnus is more so than Poofers.
Okay. I'm, for the time being, ignoring the one who's right next to me, and I'm going to double tap the one in front of Magnus.
Okay. Alright, nat 20 on the second hit. First, unfortunately, misses.
Bow.
He's a little low to the ground, so that first arrow flies over his head, but you quickly course correct and strike him with that second one, finishing that creature off. He
Okay.
is dead.
Okay.
He falls to the ground,
I
bloody.
feel like the arrow goes through his head when I have him with my hands.
Okay,
So-
that's pretty cool.
Remind me after I get a killing blow because of my bow, I gain, what is it?
I don't know. You have to check the item.
Let me see. 2d6 temp hit points.
Okay.
So Okay. So I get 7 temp hit points from that. And then for my bonus action, I'd like to use a greater healing potion.
Okay. Oh yeah,
Nice.
I was supposed to have Reshi act. He downs that healing potion and looks a little bit better, but did you specifically instruct him to like go cast to attack? Because he did tell you earlier
I
that
just
he
want
doesn't-
him to display to the guards that he can do magic. And I assume people down there can watch too, because he's like right on the edge.
Yeah, and in fact he does do that. Right as an arrow flies through that lizard's head. He kind of like stands up with a little bit of vitality returned to him and plants his feet firmly, raises his hands in the air, erupting the soil from both of these potted plants into a sort of spiral whirlwind above him. It's a small display because it is not a massive amount of earth.
I'd like to point out we're standing on stone, which is earth.
And I
Yeah, but
saying,
do you really
bloodbending.
want him to collapse the balcony underneath you?
Oh, but look at all those tiles and the tower part.
don't
I'm
wanna
just saying
destroy-
all that came from the earth.
He doesn't want to destroy his future palace or whatever. Come on. Just kidding. No, he does put on a display of this natural earth. And it is more for show than anything else. The guards do have a moment of hesitation, but they have sworn their lives to the Pharaoh and will die protecting him. They are unmoved, but even from this distance you hear whispers of awe and exclamations of amazement from the crowd below, which is good. Magnus, it's your turn.
All right.
question. Sorry, we're not. Do we use bless on our attack rolls?
Yeah, all
Yeah,
D1
but
rolls.
it,
Yep, attack
like-
and save.
yeah, that's not going to give you a crit though. You have to naturally roll 20 for that. So if
Yeah.
it hits, it hits you.
Yeah, you got a nat 20, so it doesn't change anything.
Well, but I meant on the first one. I didn't see what I rolled, but I didn't know if.
You rolled a 12,
I mean, he's
so
dead
if a
anyways.
16 would have hit. Yeah, it doesn't.
Killed it anyway.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Never mind. Sorry. Go ahead.
All right. Seeing that happen, because I'm holding the guard and an arrow shot through its head. I look over at Troy and
I
drop
wink at you.
and turn around and see this. So is this like? Are we calling this a beast? What are we calling this
Beastie.
thing?
It is a Radiant Guardian.
All right. I see this Radiant Guardian who already hit me with his blades, by the way. Super pissed about that. And I say, you know what? Rise. And I cast Levitate on it.
All right, levitate. You cast it and you watch as it has literally no effect,
Ugh.
as this is a spectral creature.
Oh.
Wah,
You know what it
wah.
is? He's a cleric. He's like Dr. Ink.
Oh. Well, would I have known
It was a good
that-
try.
Like, is
I
he
appreciate it.
slightly invisible?
Yeah, but it's too late. You made the action. I described him
Aw.
as a spectral radiant thing.
She did.
All right.
Um,
All right.
Theron, can you actually roll insight for me on that conclusion?
Sure. If Coffee Man was here, he'd make a better. I'm sorry, you said inside, right?
Yeah, insight.
He would already know.
Religion
Let's
was
see here.
fine too.
That is a 24.
Yeah, this is not a spirit guardian. It's a other sort of guardian. It doesn't seem to have the same sort of sentience as Dr. Ink does.
Gotcha.
It's not
There's
following a command.
yeah. There's other like guardians that I can pick that just aren't as good as something like Dr. Ink or Spirit Guardian. So that's where I was getting that from. But I got you.
Anything else, Magnus?
So then for my bonus action, I'm going to drink a healing pot.
Okay.
And then I'm going to move. I'm going to move away from this person that I didn't get to levitate. And I'm going to go. Oops, the wrong thing. I'm going to go right here and move right next to Big Bad Guy.
All right. What are you gonna do?
Well, I already cast my action, and my bonus action, and my movement. So I'm gonna go back up to him and keep an eye on him and stare at him.
Poop him.
And go,
Menacingly.
look at him menacingly. And actually, to be honest, if I don't know if you're gonna let me, but I would actually kind of want to get a really close look at that staff when I'm coming up.
Yeah, roll perception on that.
Good call. Good call.
$18.
The staff is glowing much like his eyes, with a sort of blue energy. It is clearly a conduit. But apart from that, he obviously is very protective of it and is that's his weapon. You're not really a adept magic user, so I'm not sure how much more you could deduce from that.
It's shiny.
Yeah.
And I could have done a +4 to it. Well, and then it doesn't matter. Cool.
Okay.
All right. And I'll stand there and stare at him innocently.
He looks at you with a big, toothy, carnivorous grin. Yep, Viren.
Cool. I am not invisible anymore. What I'm gonna do is I am going to let's see here, what level? I'm gonna cast Blind and Deafness. I'm just figuring out what spell level. I'm gonna blind the 2 guards near Poofers, the Pharaoh, and that lizard guard that's closest to me on the right. So I need 4
What
slots.
level spell are you casting, please?
Yeah, that's what I need to figure out right now. 1 second. I can only do 3. Yeah, I'm only going to do 3 then. Then I'm going to do the 2 guards by Poofers and the Pharaoh. And it's a con 17 save.
He is going to counterspell that. So your magic just fizzes out.
That counterspell for the other 2 too, it just cancels the whole thing.
It stops the spell, yeah.
Alright.
Counterspell. Okay. In that case, I am going to bring out my own Spectral Guardian. I'm going to bring out Dr. Ink.
Okay. Let me pull up on the map for you. I never changed his symbol. I keep forgetting to change his token.
I thought there was a mug. All right, well, for the people that are just joining us, he's a very large, 3-foot tall, golden spectral mug.
Yeah, I just forget to change the token every session. So.
Gotcha. I am going to plant him here. And I'm going to take a crack at this lizard guy.
Okay.
1 second. Spiritual weapon. Aw, that's a 12 to hit.
No, that does not hit, unfortunately. He's just waking up and warming up.
Yeah. Oh, it's been a while, he says.
Yeah.
Do I want to move? I am going to... I'm gonna shift right here. That'll end my turn.
Okay. It's at this moment that Cleo has hoofed it up all of those stairs.
Hey, she made it. Is she out of breath?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's exhausted, and that's why she's going at the end of the round.
She walks in, we're all just like, eh!
Welcome to the party!
But the stairs would be down here.
Food, drinks,
We
monsters.
started without you.
She's not bloodied, actually.
Need a Red Bull?
So yeah, she's here, out of breath, needs 6 seconds-ish to recover. Poofers, it's your turn.
Okay. This one to my right, he's bloodied, right?
Yeah, this one right here, not feeling
So
hot.
I'm going to recklessly attack him 1 time.
Okay.
Okay, that's going to be a 25 to hit for 26 damage. Okay,
That's enough to go ahead and, how do you end
as
this?
he falls, I'm going to reach out my other hand, and there's going to be a flame spark that lights from my hand into his soul, and he rises and takes a whack at the one next to him.
Oh.
Erebor just sees this and she goes and just excitedly claps for poofers.
Is this a one-time? Like it's just one.
This
strike
is a
before he
once
dies?
per. Yeah, he could take one
Okay.
attack action, and he cannot move.
Just one
Troy's-
attack, not one action, right?
Let me check.
This is very
Troy's
different.
jaw
thing.
just drops. What the hell is going on with Beavers lately?
30 feet drops to 0 hit points. Use your reaction. Immediately makes a single weapon attack against a target of your choice within its attack range.
Okay, so yeah, you stab through this creature and then grab it on like the shoulder or something, and fiery energy pours from your sword through it and sort of like shines out through its eyes and mouth, and you can see there's like literal fire within this creature. And he turns and makes the more powerful of his 2 attacks, which would be a rend with fiery claws against his ally, which does hit actually for a notable amount of damage.
Going to kick him off my blade, so he slides off, and then make an attack against the other one.
Okay.
So theatrical.
Just like a door.
Just like a door. Oh.
And that'll be a 25 for 18 damage.
All right, he's hurt, and he's horrified also.
It's horrified.
Okay. The Pharaoh has watched 2 of his minions fall, and looks around the room kind of angrily, and draws a scepter across the room. I need everyone to make a wisdom saving throw as he bellows out, "Bow to me!"
Yikes.
Can
Remember,
I counterspell this?
It's not a spell.
I did not click the right thing. At a +1. So that'll be
you also add a D4 to your rolls, guys.
so 13
Can you guys
for
tell
me.
me the totals? Jeez, there's a lot of
Oh,
rolls going on.
my
Oh,
freaking
see.
god!
6.
Okay.
I'm gonna use inspiration.
Oh, yay! Me too. Is that a full reroll?
Yeah.
Of your D20, yeah.
Not a D4.
Um,
So
I'm sorry. I can roll a what?
just the
D20.
I rolled a 19.
Okay. Here, 19. Erebor, what's your new total? We'll get back to you. Magnus, what was your total?
4.
Okay, Troy, what was your total?
21.
Okay,
We all have 1 inspiration, I'm just gonna say from the one shot that we did.
yes. Coopers.
13.
Erebor.
Wow.
Okay. Viren and Troy, you watch as all of your allies are forced down to their knees by what feels like a godlike presence in the room. And the 3 of you who failed, whose names I said, are prone and unable to act. You are incapacitated effectively until the end of your next turn. Speaking of Erebor, legendary actions are great. It's your turn, so you are able to get up after this turn, as in you're up now but can't do anything. Which brings us to the Pharaoh's turn. Everything resets. It's fun. Magnus is incapacitated, so he's gonna go ahead and walk, saunter with pride over here, and then turn to Viren and point his scepter at him. And 4 radiant balls of energy are gonna fly out from him, from the scepter towards you. I think you have high AC. Okay. What is your AC actually? Ren. I want to say it's 18.
Sorry. I thought I hit the unmute button. Yeah, it's 18. Sorry.
Okay. So 3 of them do hit you actually.
Damn.
For a total of 26 radiant damage to your face.
Ouchie.
to your
Your
beautiful
face.
little fist.
My face?
Yeah.
Aw.
It's like blah, 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 but yeah, that's a chunky hit to your soul.
It is.
And actually, you feel as that attack hits, a sort of bond forge between yourself and the Pharaoh, and he looks a little bit rejuvenated.
No.
And you feel a little bit lost, like something has been taken from you.
No.
Um,
Is this? Is he stealing health?
he is stealing.
Is that my inkling, or is he stealing like my?
Why don't you roll insight or religion?
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to find out if I can do that.
Yeah, go
Sure.
ahead.
All right. 16.
He is not stealing your immediate like energy or vitality, but he is taking what feels like a portion of your soul, a little bit, like a little corner of it.
Just
And
the edge.
you feel like half exhausted right now, like you're almost feel a little bit exhausted.
Oh, that's not good.
But you're okay for now.
Okay.
Guards get to go. Eravir, coming for you. You angered him. He gets down on all fours once again and charges at that couch. Knocks it over against you. You're incapacitated, so he's gonna hit no matter what. Jumps on top of you.
Actually, she got up.
She got up.
Oh, she got up. You're right. Sorry. Let
And
me
you
just
know
make-
I saw him running and threw my shield at him.
Okay. Oh, that was an at 20 on the second attack here, because he's advantage on you. So that was
We're getting our asses kicked.
damage. 20 damage against you. However, both of the bite attacks miss. And I need you to make a strength saving throw, please.
How much damage did I take in the last
Plus
one?
a D4,
26.
right?
A d4, yes, you can add. Yeah. So you are currently knocked prone with him like on top of you, holding you down. Troy is incapacitated, so I'm gonna attack
Not.
him. You're not. I'm sorry.
I'm not.
You know what? Who is? Poofers is still, and Magnus is still. Okay. I've marked it. I won't make the mistake again. Alright, I'm gonna attack you normally then. That was a mod 20 to hit on the first claw attack for 14 damage and a 19 for 13 damage.
Ouch. 14. Hold on.
So that's 27 total.
Right. Okay, I'm gonna take the 7 temp off and then just take 20. Okay. Okay.
Alright, Poofers, you're down. He's gonna go ahead and rend at you with claws and bite, hitting no matter what. That was only 18 damage. I'm not gonna let you have it because this would have broken your rage. If you're incapacitated. So, yes.
I stand up and look furiously at him.
Yeah. Troy, it's your turn.
How, out of the 3 remaining guards, the only one damaged is the one by Poofers, right?
Correct.
How does it look?
Not quite bloodied. Not yet.
Okay. I'm gonna take a shot at the Pharaoh, aiming for the hand holding the scepter. 22 to hit,
does hit.
and then I'm going to try to disarm again, which will add another 8, and it's the same strength saving of 15. So damage is 8 plus another 8, so 16 to damage. And then an attempt to disarm.
Oh, the strength save. That was an 18 on the strength save. Plus another 8 damage. Okay, so you don't disarm him again. However, as the... you only shot 1 arrow so far, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. As that first arrow strikes him, and he takes damage, one of the little motes orbiting his head flies out, and I need you to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Jesus. Okay.
Pharaoh's got games, man.
Damn.
Also, roll your d4.
So a
Not
total of 16.
high enough. So you take an additional 11 radiant damage as
Oh
that
my
moat
God.
strikes you.
Okay.
All right.
Ouch.
Clifford sees this happen, and she looks at Troy now that she's standing up. She tosses her.
You're not
hand
up
out.
yet.
Yeah, I am.
Not till the start of your turn. Or the
You
end of your
told
turn.
me that I stood up. I already had a turn, and I couldn't do anything.
Okay. No, it started after Erevir's turn, actually. I'm sorry, it started after your turn is when he used legendary action and cast it on you guys. You haven't had a turn since he cast it.
I guess I'm still on the ground.
Okay, Troy.
I kind of shake it off a little bit. Wipe some of the blood out of my vision, and I'm gonna take another shot at him.
Okay. That attack goes wide.
Do I add the 4 to it? Just
You can, yeah.
okay. Bear with me. So 4 to it, which turns it into a 15, and then I'm going to use a precision attack, which adds an 8 to the attack roll, or a D8. So another
A
3.
15 doesn't hit.
Right.
So.
Plus another 3 though.
Okay.
Precision strike.
For one.
Okay.
For,
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
one of my superiority dice,
All right. So that'll deal another 10 damage to him.
and then I'm going to use trip attack, which will deal another D8 damage, and then it's a strength saving of DC 15. So add another 8 to the damage roll.
Nice.
So he is knocked prone and then takes another 8 damage.
And then as a bonus action, I'm going to I'm going to do a second wind for 1d10 plus 9 to my HP.
All right. Magnus, after this turn, you're able to stand up. You're no longer forced to bow.
So
Super.
15.
Okay. Diren, it is your turn.
Cool. All right. I got Dr. Ink, and I got me. Bless is still running. Recognizing that we need to kind of move our focus over to more the lounge area of the room, I'm gonna come over here. The one that's directly to the right is dead, right? The lizard folk.
Yeah, it's got a little
That's the
skull
little
next
skull.
to him.
Yeah. Okay. Just making sure. I'm gonna cast a level 3 inflict wounds on our buddy here.
All right. I think that's an attack roll.
Yeah. That is a 28 to hit.
I think that might hit.
Yeah, that
maybe.
definitely hits. Go ahead and roll that damage.
Cool. 5d10.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
Nighty night, sweet prince.
Goodbye, lizard. We hardly knew you.
Do you want to describe that for me?
Yeah, sure. I grab him by his tail, and a large group, a flurry of flowers goes across his entire body, and then it turns into like this gross black acid that is probably a not great way to die. And he falls next to his comrade.
Okay. Very cool. Anything else you want to do in your turn?
Yeah, I suppose I still have Dr. Ink, don't I? I am... Let's see here, those guys are dead. I am going to move Dr. Ink over here and take a crack at our other guard.
Okay.
Thanks.
If I can... Come on, do it. Uh, 16 to hit.
That does
Which,
hit.
yeah,
Yes.
cool. And 1d8 plus 5. for 11 damage.
Very good.
And that'll end my turn.
All right, Cleo's now in the fight. Unless anyone has a request for her, she's gonna do what she thinks is best.
Do what you think is best, Cleo, is my request.
Do we got a health check on everyone? Is Cleo aware?
Yeah, can I grab a health check on everyone? Who's most likely dead?
I think Troy might be looking.
If I had
It's
to
probably in
put a
between Troy
number
and Magnus,
value,
if I had to guess.
I would say about half.
Yeah, I'm 36 out of 85,
So
so
you
I'm
guys are
36 out of 66.
I am 30
Okay.
out of 66. How did I take the
I
most
guess it
damage?
doesn't. I guess it doesn't matter out of how much, guys. I think it's just how much we have left is what's
True.
important.
Yeah.
How killable are you?
Right? Who cares what our
All
max
right.
is? It's what's left.
She's gonna save her healing pool then. Okay. So about there. She runs forward into the arena. Ooh, not that far. She'll go like right here. No, she'll go like right here. As she enters the arena, you guys kind of feel a, reinforcements have arrived. You feel a little bit more empowered now. Everyone regains 9 HP just by her presence. Yeah. And then,
Quick question. He's prone, right? Pharaoh?
yeah,
That didn't change anything, did it?
No.
Okay.
he's not concentrating or anything.
The beastie or anything? Not concentrating? Okay.
And then she's going to trigger another aura that she's not in smacking range of anyone yet. She's going to trigger another aura. And Troy, as she arrives, you feel even more strongly. You kind of like feel this like connection with her as like a comrade in battle, and you regain another 10 HP.
Dang. Awesome.
And that aura remains, so because it's hard for me to keep track of, what does this say? Oh no, never mind. One person within range, just remind me on her turn, if I forget, can regain some hit points. I should remember though. Poofers, you're now able to stand up. And does he want to do anything? No, he's gonna give you a break this round. Erebir, it's your turn. You have a man on top of you.
Can I Misty Step out?
Does it require a somatic component?
It's
Somatic
instantaneous
component?
Self,
Components are only verbal, so yes, you can step out.
and then can I do my movement?
Mm-hmm.
So I can go 30. Alright. Move here. And then I'm going to do a nice little lightning bolt through his little person and him.
Okay. He has disadvantage on a dex save. I think that's what Pro does. Or does he automatically fail? I'm gonna give him disadvantage. It doesn't actually say.
Did it roll? No, it didn't.
No, or you're rolling the damage, yeah.
Hold on, sorry.
Did fail that.
I'll just roll damage. It's not letting me. For some reason, it's having problems all of a sudden. Okay.
You can just roll the 86.
It's 10d6.
Are you casting it at a high level?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bring them out, bring them out.
Oh, Jesus.
Pretty neat.
Whoa.
Pretty nice.
Whoa.
That was pretty good.
That was a big one.
That was a big hit.
Was that the lightning? What did you throw at him?
Lightning bolt.
So
Which,
did you also hit the?
it just kind of
Dude.
passes through him.
I see.
He is spectral.
It's like a Dr. Ink.
But it does hit the Pharaoh, who takes a significant amount of damage. In response, 2 of those motes fly out at you, and I need you to make 2 dexterity saving throws, please.
It's like those goddamn Taken snipers in Destiny.
I was
Sorry,
just thinking that.
take a dex save, all of us?
Yeah.
No, just you.
Just you.
Twice.
You also have a d4, so roll the d4 twice.
Okay, so I need to do dex save twice. It's not letting me do it for some reason all of a sudden.
Just refresh
Just
the
roll
page.
the dice manually too.
Okay, crap. How do I do the save manually?
Just slash roll space d whatever.
Is it d20?
Depends on
And
what
then what's your
dex
dex
is.
modifier?
My dex is +5.
So slash
So in the-
roll space d20 plus 5.
Yep.
So 16. And
Plus
then
a D4.
plus a d4. 17, and then
And then
again.
you're gonna do that again. Yeah.
And then 21.
Alright, so you'll be taking half this damage. So both of the motes fire out at you, and they kind of like singe past you, but you still take 19 damage from that.
Okay.
Alright, that brings us to the Pharaoh's turn. And he stands first, and then raises the staff in the air, and you see a lightning bolt strike down right here and severely damage that balcony. But it sends out a sort of shockwave, and I need Poofers, Viren, Troy, Poofers, Viren, Magnus, and Eravir, and Cleo to go ahead and make intelligence saving throws.
Well, good thing Sean's not here. Troy's not here.
Alright,
Wouldn't
I'm
have
gonna use
been-
my inspiration.
Wouldn't have affected me anyways.
I rolled a 14.
Joke's on you. I'm dumb
13.
as shit.
So only Magnus saves.
Yeah.
Shit.
I had a 15.
Hey, Bunja Moon, rating with 9. Welcome, welcome.
Yeah.
We're fighting.
Ready to watch us TPK?
Yeah.
This is coming.
You guys came in at a good time.
Alright, so as this shock wave of radiant energy flies out, you feel not a like physical reaction to the strike, but more of a psychic one. And everyone except Magnus takes 20 psychic damage, Magnus takes 10, and everyone except Magnus now has your thoughts feel very muddled. And you are going to subtract a d6 from all your attack rolls and saving throws, and you can make a saving throw to escape this at the end of your turn.
Wait.
You also
say
subtract.
that
Not
again, just one more
everybody
time.
can be
So
Smart as me.
you are subtracting a d6 from all of your d20 rolls. That includes concentration.
Okay, that's fun.
And you can try and escape that effect at the end of your turn.
And I'm sorry, how much damage did I take? I was.
20.
Thanks.
20.
Sorry.
Your hair keeps running away. This is so inconvenient. He's gonna go ahead and charge at Cleo then, and the other one's gonna continue attacking Troy. Let's see. 1, 2. So, Troy, what's your AC?
16.
Okay, so you're gonna be taking a total of 18 physical damage as this creature continues to just rend at you relentlessly with claws and teeth. The other one's gonna go ahead and hit Cleo. It's not an advantage, but she takes some damage as it's able to bite her in one of the weak spots of her armor. That brings us to Troy's turn.
Alright. Getting pretty fed up with this. So I am going to lean a little bit further back on this shot. Going for a sharpshooter shot at the Pharaoh this time.
Okay, that one
This is
definitely goes wide, and he's able to just kind of stand there.
Entirely.
That was quite a sad miss.
frustrated with that, but still steadfast in my determination. Going for a second sharpshooter shot to redeem the first one.
Alright, that was a 9 to hit, so unfortunately that's still kind of, he's just able to sort of brush that out of the air.
You have your D4.
Okay, well, that adds. What does that make it?
13.
Well, okay.
And then you could do precision at that point.
Right.
That's a risk, though.
I'm gonna let that one fly, and then I'm going to action surge for 2 more.
Okay.
So another. Why does this not like me? Another precision.
Okay.
I'm gonna hit him with one of these. Or no, I'm sorry, another
I
sharpshooter.
swear to God.
I'm so tired of this guy.
Alright, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Okay.
Alright, as you
add my
fire off. Alright, as you fire off that first shot, he phases in and out of existence and swaps places with Aradir. Pops over there. You're kind of unable to turn the
Oh,
shot
mama.
in time. So she'll be taking only 7 damage from your first arrow, and then you can quickly follow him for your second shot. Just that first one.
Which.
And Poopers is gonna reach out, just gonna go, no, not again, and a huge wall of ice is gonna shoot up in front of Troy's shot at Erebir.
Okay. So that can reduce the damage to, I think, probably nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, and I have one more. I'm
I love you,
just
poopers.
absolutely pissed off.
Alright, 17 does hit for a total of 16 damage.
And I'm going to, with my last superiority die, I'm going to add 8 and try to knock him prone again.
Okay. Strength. That was a 21 on my part.
Do I add a D? I don't know. No, I don't add a D for that. All right, dang, just another 2.
Pharaoh's looking fairly hurt at this point. He's gonna go ahead and pop a legendary action here.
Do I still have a bonus action?
Yep.
Okay. Healing pot. Okay.
Okay. So, he once again lifts the scepter in the air, and 4 more lightnings strike down. They're not quite as powerful as the first one. One there, one there, one there, and then one all the way up here. I rolled dice to see where they went, by the way. Which means that Troy and Bjorn and Magnus, I think, all need to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Oh boy.
+21 plus the 4. I need to do the 4.
25.
Okay.
A total of 22.
Here, 1 sec.
So you all saved,
Thank God.
Yeah.
and will be taking. It's very good that you all saved because I rolled high on that damage. Viren and Troy will be taking 21 damage. Magnus will be taking 16.
It's a dex save, and I saved, so I take none, right? With evasion.
Yes.
So, Viren goes down, but as he falls, all of a sudden, a large spectral bird flies up and brings him back up to 1 HP.
Yes.
Very nice.
Woo! I've had that work against me before.
Flex.
That is what's the name of the tattoo that I have on my shoulder?
But the ship one.
That was
No.
the Phoenix one.
Yeah, it's the Phoenix tattoo. Basically gives
Yeah.
me that orc trait.
All right. Magnus, it's your turn.
All right. I think. So how's the boss looking?
He's looking pretty hurt.
So she says.
All right. I'm thinking. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna move over to him and stare at him and remember that he smiled at me last time when I came up to him, when I gave him that evil look. And I said, you know, look around, open up my coat, grab this potion.
You use your insight check to think. Don't use that yet.
Okay. I used my insight check to not use that yet. And instead, I take my flaming sword and
It's been such a thing for such a long time that I'm not gonna let you waste it.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
And instead I say, you know what? You're done moving. And I slam my flaming sword on his foot, try to like put it right through his
Pin him.
foot onto the ground.
Okay, let's see it.
Nice.
Very nice.
Nice.
You like to
That
see that?
hits. Can you go ahead and roll damage for me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Roll that damage.
Oh damn, look at all those ones.
Definitely enough though.
Pretty good amount though. 29.
So you stab through his foot and kind of ignite him with fire, and you see that the fire doesn't just it's not localized. It kind of travels through his entire body and does a lot of damage to him, and he falls to his knees, and the whole place just kind of falls silent. The remaining guards watch their leader fall, first to his knees and then to his elbows and then to the ground. And you stand up kind of proud, withdraw your blade, and you've defeated God guy. Not really, he's just a pharaoh. And stand up, kind of look at your handiwork and begin to step away. And then Cleo, who's watching, calls out and says, "Wait, no." And the pharaoh's body pulses with a white radiant energy as he is lifted by a magical force up back to his feet, and he begins to hover in a sort of very godlike way. And as he rises from the ground, another pulse of radiant energy flies out. No save necessary. Diren, Magnus, and Cleo, and just those three will be taking 18 radiant damage.
No. Viren's down.
And the Pharaoh is back up, and we're gonna keep going. Viren's down. Great. Time for a reaction.
Oh.
Viren, as you fall to the ground, The rest of you watch as his body is lifted and is brought over towards this altar where it is placed down, and the ceremonial dagger hovers over it menacingly. Biren, funny enough, it's your turn next, and now that it's your turn, the dagger plunges into you and you immediately fail a death save. Yeah. So Cleo's turn.
Wow.
She very much sees that Viren has fallen. She's gonna go ahead and throw a 3rd level Cure Wounds your way. Because you're... Oh wait, no, that's a touch level. No, I can't do that. I lied. Alright, she's gonna take an attack of opportunity for you. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Get in range and throw that 2d6 HP your way. So you come back up with 9 and see a dagger floating above you ready to strike again. And that is her bonus action. Next. This is an unfortunate situation. She's gonna have only moved this far because you're still within range. She's gonna go ahead and smite this MFer.
Smite him,
Smite
mighty
him!
smiter.
So does he still look hurt, or does he look totally renewed?
He is at a different stage of existence right now, but he is not.
He's in his evolved form.
He does not have as much HP as he originally did.
Okay.
Can I spend 1 spell slot to do extra damage? And how many spell slots does she have? Okay, she's just gonna do a 2nd level smite. Okay, so that will be a... Smite really confuses me for whatever reason. So 2d8 plus 3, so 48 plus 1d8 plus 5. Okay. So she does 5d8 plus 5 damage to this guy, taking a pretty significant chunk of his HP, actually. And in turn, she's taking an attack of opportunity from that lizard, which hits. So she takes another that much damage, and then she's also going to make a dex save to receive 2 of these remaining motes. So she saved on the first one and failed the second one. So that'll be that much damage. Okay, she's hurt, but she's still up. Poofers, welcome back to the fight.
I feel like I have been able to do nothing for the past 45 minutes. Okay, look behind me. Baron's up. Great. Gonna launch myself at the flying Pharaoh right here. Do a cool, like, front flip in the air. Swing down with my greatsword twice, attacking recklessly.
Actually, you know, it's the start of the round and I forgot to do something, so before you do that, you notice arriving here is, your good friend. Where is he?
Fast?
Yeah. Here we are.
Yes.
He has arrived.
Wow.
He
Yes.
surveys the situation.
Okay,
And
then in the air while I'm front flipping, I give him a thumbs up.
Welcome to the party.
Biren's over here. Welcome to the party.
Nice.
Okay. I don't
That
think
is
you did
not what I meant to do.
142 damage, yeah.
Oh my god.
You guys can't see it, but there was a damage calculation error that
Okay, so
Equated to
there's
140.
gonna be...
Just tell me the total.
Okay, that's going to be a 22 and a 11 to hit.
Okay, the 22
Assuming the 11
hits.
does not hit. So
Yes.
that's going to be for 20 damage.
20 damage. Alright. As you, come up and smack this guy to bits, I'm gonna move you over here. He takes the hit and then starts to kind of twitch in and out of reality, and this is gonna take me a second to put on the map, but you guys are effectively randomly rearranged on this map. Poofer still stays next to him as it turns out. Oops. You over here, like so. Okay. Yeah, you're all
The
rearranged.
Salamancer used that on us.
All right,
Feels oddly familiar.
Well, that's inconvenient.
Erebor, it's your turn.
All right. Well, I may go back to my spot behind the couch. Oh wait, no, not yet. I am going to send in some heals for my peoples.
He looks very like he is barely holding on at this point.
You know what? F it.
Wink, wink.
Nobody makes Erebor bow. Since everyone's around him, going to be careful with what I hit him with. So let's go for a level 5 chromatic orb of acid. It's not letting me roll this, of course, in there. So, sorry, I'm just trying to figure out. I'm just gonna have to manually do this. Oh, sorry. Hold on. I'm
That's
having
not gonna
issues.
hit. I think that your spellcasting modifier is too low.
Wait, I didn't even. Hold on.
There's no more D4, by the way.
Plus 7.
Yeah, 16 is not high enough.
Okay. Fuck.
Okay, so he's able to dodge that. That brings it to his turn, and he is going to let out another pulse of radiant energy. I need everyone in the battlefield to make a dex save, please.
Is this a scene threat? Please tell me this is a scene threat.
This is a scene threat.
Do we have stealth to D4?
No.
Okay.
I got a nat 1. I'm going back down.
Poor Bjorn is most
Oh, and someone got a nat 20.
I nat 20 now. Where was my nat 20 30 seconds ago?
I've just been getting beaten on the ground for the last 4 turns.
Well, Erebor is the only one who saves. So you're going to take half the damage. Erebor, you take 10 radiant damage. The rest of you take 21.
I'll take 10 also.
Okay, yes. And the Pharaoh looks like he's powering something up. These guards. This one's going to strike out at Erebor. This one is going to run up to Poofers. And let's power through this. That misses. That hits. Poofers, you take another 11 piercing damage, which is halved because I think you're still raging. I don't know if you are raging. If you are,
Yes, I am. So is the
you
11
are-
halved or not?
it is not halved. You take 5. Against Erebor, you take.
I throw shield.
Okay, you do not take any damage. All right,
Someone's
Troy,
got to stay up.
it is your turn. Someone must end him.
All right.
Please end him.
I'm furious at this. Got not much left, and apparently at point blank range. So I unsheath both my scimitars, and I'm just gonna do just as I unsheath it, just a spinning double slash at him for my 2 attacks.
Okay.
Just right at the chest. In full anger.
Not like that.
Yeah, neither of those.
Oh, is it gonna go to Magnus?
Wait, I'm gonna
You're gonna get
inspiration
this
and
chance.
I'm gonna inspiration and keep spinning for another 2 hits. The last trick in my bag here.
Inspiration would only re-roll
Attaboy.
one of them.
Oh,
What? So you got a mod 20.
It still wasn't enough to kill him with that damage.
Oh
It's very close, though, I will
God.
say. But that's good. It works out. Magnus.
Can I kick him for my bonus action or something?
I mean, is it time?
All right.
Yeah, you feel like it's about time. However, actually, go ahead and make your action. I want to play this out differently.
All right.
Go ahead.
So I'm going to move up to him. Really confused that I got teleported way the hell over here. And say, this time I kill you, you're going to stay freaking dead. And I'm going to bring my sword straight down on his neck.
You don't want to use your fancy potion.
You told me not to. Because you said you want to play it out different.
No, I meant like, I want to save my action with you.
Oh. Okay.
Use your
And then I said, this time when I kill you, you're going to stay dead. And I open up my coat. I take out the correct potion.
Okay.
And I hug it back. And I hug it at him as hard as I can.
Okay. I'll be nice and not do splash damage to the 3 other people.
Thank you.
Yes.
Very kind, just FYI.
Yeah, that would have been bad.
So that potion hits the Pharaoh. And he doesn't seem fully like conscious of anything anymore. But you see spots of brilliant gold energy start to pop up around wherever that potion hit him and splattered him. And it sort of starts to grow like an infection or a disease across him, spreading mystical gold veins. And as that is spreading rapidly, he starts to pulse faster and faster with wild radiant energy, clearly like a ticking, like tick, 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 that kind of deal. Bast sees this and starts running this way. Meanwhile, all of you begin to back up, clearly away from this creature that is like going to explode. Magnus, you hit him in the back with that potion. And as this gold starts to spread around him and consume more and more of his figure and sort of block off that natural flesh from being exposed, so being replaced with this gold, you see this radiant energy that is about to be unleashed is no longer able to escape those parts, and his like back is being covered further and further. He's being further encased in this gold. And all that is left is sort of the front face, his like front area, which is facing Eravir. And
I'd like to jump behind the couch, please.
No. And it is not your turn. And a blast of blinding, like all of you are absolutely blinded by this white energy, fires out towards Eravir. And Eravir, you see certain death approaching you. Essentially, as after this, this blast fires off, the gold is finished fully encasing him, and the Pharaoh clatters to the ground, fully encased in gold. And the rest of you hear this clattering but don't see it. Eravir, all you see is this light at the end of the tunnel, literally approaching you. And then a shadow appears in front of you and takes that hit for you. And as the light dies down and all of your vision returns, you guys see Eravir singed fairly well, but lying on the ground instead is Bast, who has taken that hit and fallen victim to the Pharaoh's last strike. So that is where we are.
Wow.
Oh, jeez.
And right as kind of your sight is regained, these guards look at each other and drop their weapons and start to retreat. Reshi, on the other hand, sees Bast dead on the ground and rushes over at him, starts grabbing his body, trying to like wake up, kind of.
is it possible? I'd like to bend down and try and use spare the dying.
This is not a creature that is unconscious. This is a creature that was outright killed.
Okay.
He's not dying, he is dead.
Okay.
But yes, it is quite a tragic scene. Now.
Is the spiritual beast gone?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And the Pharaoh is encased in gold on the ground. Now, I, as the DM, will give you a choice here. I can describe the aftermath of this event and fast forward to you having left the city, or next session we can pick up and play out the events here.
We need to investigate the scepter.
And I
Okay.
want a gold body.
It depends if you guys are willing to play an extra 15 minutes or not.
I'm okay with that.
Everyone is good with that?
We're going into overtime,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen.
All right. The scepter has clattered to the ground, separate from the gold statue that now remains. Magnus, it is a noble effort, but this is very heavy, and it would be hard to transport across the desert.
Just saying, I have levitate, so I can push it.
Okay,
Think about it.
for a week's travel.
I actually have an idea of what I think might be a good thing to do, but we should
Anyways,
probably-
the scepter is clattered to the ground.
Poofers is going to walk over to Bast and kneel down next to him and say some words for the dead in Goliath/Giant.
Reshi is more or less inconsolable. He doesn't cry out loud or anything like that. He's not a super expressive person that way, but he, you like try and put your hand on his shoulder and he's like unresponsive. But you do sort of give a right for the dead there.
I'm going to tell Reshi, Bast sacrificed because he believed in you.
He definitely hears you, but you don't get a response.
Troy's kneeling, kind of head down a little bit.
I pick up the
Cleo will be walking around, by the way, restoring you guys to a sort of comfortable number of hit points.
Thanks,
that matters. What do you guys want to do?
I walk over and to this gold body, realize it's too heavy, and I pick up the scepter.
Okay. You don't want to use your famous napkin to touch a potentially deadly artifact.
Well,
I'm
I have to. I'm not touching the crystal. I thought it's attached.
I mean,
to the
you don't know.
scepter.
You can try and touch it.
I'm still kneeling, but
Would
I
you
pull
like
the
try and
napkin out of
touch
my
it?
pocket and
Use
I
the
hand
napkin.
I hand the napkin to Magnus without looking.
You're welcome to pick it up. I'm just saying, like, you don't know what it is.
It is a fancy handkerchief now, okay? It's
Yeah.
not a flimsy napkin.
True. I
It's like
I
the
use
art
the
of
fancy
it's-
handkerchief.
It's the artifact handkerchief.
We got classy now.
All right. I mean, what are you trying to do? Just pick it up? Or are you trying to deduce anything about it?
So I want to pick it up and then look at one to see if there's any markings, and then two to see if the crystal detaches or anything like that.
It does not detach. It is a whole. It's like a. I mean, if you try it hard enough, you could probably pry it out, but it is meant as like a set piece.
Right. Any specific markings or anything obvious on the actual scepter itself?
There are hieroglyphs on it that you can't read. That are sort of standard for the cities. Whatever.
Right. And then I go over to Barry. I say, "Hey, I'm actually giving this to you. You're not taking it from me. Look
Noted.
at this thing."
all right.
Is
I'm
this what
assuming
we
it's handed to me in the napkin, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
What would you like to do with it?
Can I, now that I have it in my hands, if I were to do detect magic, could I gain some more understanding of it? Like if it's an artifact, like being in the presence
So
of
you're
one?
not really sure what to look for, but you can cast detect magic and see what you find.
Okay. Detect magic.
It is simply teeming with divine magic.
Hmm.
You're not sure how artifacts have changed after the appearance of the tear in the sky. You recall that in the past, the artifact magic was a sort of mutated form of divinity. with other stuff mixed in. However, I will say you have no way of knowing whether this is an artifact or just a divine relic.
Jeez. Do I really want to touch this thing sans napkin?
You can call 1-800 Ghostbusters to see if this is an artifact, to see if they've identified any change in the artifacts we've already found.
I don't know if this is an appropriate place. Albol is a revelry god.
No, I'm not talking Albol, I'm saying wardens.
1-800 wardens. I think we should probably take care of the situation in front of us, right? Dead
Yeah.
Bask.
I'm taking care of it.
Then I'm gonna go away from this area. If Magus wants to come with me, he can. Just like outside. I don't. Biren also feels a certain level of guilt because he was the one that was kind of went along the plan that got Bass killed. So he's going to avoid that. I'm gonna call. I'll use our warding comm to communicate with. Shoot, what's his name? Our researcher.
There's
Ambrose?
Dante, there's Ambrose.
Dante's not a
Ambrose.
warden. You can't talk.
Ambrose.
Okay. Ambrose reporting. Please present your query.
Hello, Ambrose. It's Biren and Magnus, and we're in a. To save you a long story short, we're in a very strange land right now, and we may have come across another artifact. It seems like we need some help understanding research on what looks to be. And I described the scepter with the hieroglyphs and try and give as much detail as I can. Can you start looking into something like this in your library?
Well, we have no record of such a civilization existing. There have only been rumored reports of anything akin to lizard folk living in the northern deserts. That said, we are still researching how artifacts have changed during the onset of the ruin.
That was going to be my follow-up question. Have you made any breakthrough in understanding how the magic is reacting with the ruin beginning?
All we've determined so far is it makes them increasingly difficult to track. However, should you wish, you can use your one question to determine whether this is the artifact of interest.
Barry, if I know you're not that smart, but you can comprehend languages. Why don't you read the hieroglyphs on the scepter and see what it says?
Yep, gonna do that.
I don't have it written out, but they basically are sort of like a. I don't really know how to describe it. It's like you know how there's like a thing in the One Ring. It's like a nice saying that reflects upon the royal family. It is basically labeling this as a regal relic as well as a holy relic. It is describing the nature of that.
Gotcha.
And it is like duty bound. It is, exclusive. It is special and, holy and all that stuff. Sacred.
One of a kind. Got it.
Yeah. But it does specifically quote, for the civilization.
Gotcha.
Which means maybe we leave it for Reshi? If it's not an artifact?
Well, we can find out if it is.
You don't know whether it's an artifact. They could have had this for centuries. It could, you have no way
Sure.
of knowing.
They've been dormant, right? So,
Mhm.
I call back into Imbros. Is there a way that we can start to identify if it's an artifact?
Nothing is known yet. You can try and bring the item back and we can experiment on it. Otherwise, the only certain way of knowing at this moment is to make use of that question.
I telepathic message over. Maybe we take it, and if it's not, we can return it to them.
Does the energy have a unique feel to it, at least?
The divine energy?
Yeah, does it
It feels.
it has a flavor to it, you know what I mean?
Can you make a religion check?
Sure. Because if it feels like, every other, divine energy, well,
It It's
Two.
sort of, it feels like divine energy. That is as far
Okay.
as you can discern.
Gotcha. I mean, we can use our question. But that's a group vote.
You guys are outside. Cooper's is inside.
Yeah. Can I check in on what's going on inside?
Yeah. We can also sort of fast forward to a later time. Like a couple days later where you're still in the city, but things are not as immediately dismal. If you would prefer.
Sure. If you want to cut the sad music.
Yeah. So a couple of days pass. There has been outright chaos in the city, as there is a sort of not really understand. Like, there's not a good understanding of what happened per se. The nobles of the palace cannot deny that Reshi has magic and are so regarding him as the next pharaoh, though he hasn't been coronated yet. And they're trying to sort of settle things throughout the city. You know, they have a pharaoh that was just murdered. Reshi has used his sort of authority to protect you guys and prevent you from being killed while remaining in the city. And all of that. Fast, I mean, I don't, if you want me to, you can, or if you want to roleplay out his funeral, essentially he is given a Viking funeral down the river, which is very atypical in this culture. You know, he's a peasant, they're usually just thrown in the ground and like forgotten. But it's a very sad moment. It is led by Reshi. It's, you know, lots of his comrades and everything who made this essentially overthrow possible are there. He's seen down the river, thanked for his sacrifice and everything that he did, and Reshi kind of makes a promise.
Want to get my watch back?
Okay, get your watch back from her.
Your busted watch.
He makes a promise to Bast to lead well in his memory. That said, the following couple of days, you're able to sort of recover, reflect upon what happened, and now you're faced with this decision. Have you brought up the problem of wanting the scepter to Reshi?
We told him that as part of this deal, we would have access to whatever we wanted to research.
So his response to this is that the scepter is a relic of past leadership, and that he kind of intends to start a newer form of leadership here. And, you know, it's not running in a single bloodline anymore or anything like that. And he is okay if you take the scepter. He is...
Oh.
Well, cool.
I was going to use our question because I didn't want to rob this civilization of their scepter, but if they're fine with that,
the nobles
sure,
are not
let's
happy
take
about it, but it's his sort of insistence.
Noble schmobles.
You still don't know whether it's the artifact, but he himself is like, if that's really what you want to take, like, he understands that.
So luckily enough, he has magical abilities sans scepter. So
Yes, he does.
At some point during this time, I would like to speak to Reshi privately.
Okay.
Basically to express my condolences and my gratitude to Bash, sacrificing his life to save mine, and letting him know that basically if there's ever anything that he needs, that I will be there to help him because of the sacrifice that Bast has made.
He's very thankful of that. I mean, he obviously says, like, it's not your fault and stuff like that. Bast essentially made the decision he felt was most righteous and just in the moment, and all that he asks is that you make with your life something that would honor Bast's memory.
Is there a lot of people gathered for this funeral along the river?
No, it's more private. No one really knew who he was, other than his, like, immediate companions.
Gotcha.
I'd like to ask Reshi before we leave, in a different situation, if he would be open to trade routes to the city with outsiders or not.
His response to that is he's still uncertain. He has to sort of commune with this god now and figure out this sort of what is acceptable for the future of the civilization.
I tell him to contact the wardens if he's ever interested in trade routes, because we have interests in the desert and can supply this city with resources in return.
Right. Are you guys satisfied with taking the scepter then, or do you want to keep investigating?
I think if he's okay with giving it to us, we might as well save our question unless we have to use it and give it to the wardens with the promise of returning it if it's not necessary. That's me personally. What do you guys think?
That's what I was saying already.
I agree.
Yeah.
That was the whole reason we were here. Let's take it and bring it back if it's nothing. I mean, not nothing, but not an artifact.
Okay.
Then we got a nice scepter to rule.
Obviously, Reshi, you can take some time here to recover and everything. But you are in a pretty tight deadline, so you set out kind of fast, I would assume. He sees you off personally. The sort of events of his coronation are all has to be resolved. It's going to be some time still. So, you set out pretty quick, start trekking through the desert. Can I have 5 more minutes of your time, and then I promise I'll let you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Can I, while we're riding out there, hang on, real quick.
Yeah.
I look over at Magnus and I give him like a heads up nod, and I throw something at him, and hopefully he catches it.
Yeah, I'll catch it.
It's the end stump of the Pharaoh's golden tail. So it's like I ripped off the end of the statue of the lizard folk's golden tail.
yeah, probably to not their liking. They wanted to put that up in his tomb. So
Yeah, screw it.
Who's a traitor? Screw him.
Anyways, the state of the city is still uncertain when you head out, but you head out nonetheless, and you make your way across the desert once again. So, there we go. It's your second night trekking back through the desert towards civilization. Your journey thus far has been thankfully very uneventful. No tabaxi or giant worms or angry desert gods to speak of.
No fire people.
No fire people either. It's a kind of a nice break following the hectic events in Oshri, which you still left from very uncertain and unclear, a little bit confused, very sad, obviously. But it's still a place that you're pretty eager to leave behind you. You're all seated contentedly around the campfire, enjoying its warmth and watching the lights and shadows play within it. It's a quiet, peaceful night, one of reflection and, perhaps, one of secret hope. Even as the tear in the sky watches endlessly over you, you've got in your possession one of the keys to survival. One of the keys that will seal away that eye in the sky and return the world to peace. And, of course, that's where we're going to end this session. Boom! A deafening, thunderous roar echoes past you, with a tangible weight disturbing the flames of the fire and rendering them to mere embers, as an enormous beacon of red light appears on the horizon in the direction of Oshri. The light grows ever brighter, ever stronger, casting a brilliance that dominates the moon and stars as it turns the night sky into a red-stained morning. Almost in response, another deafening roar tears through the sky, so powerful that it shakes the ground beneath your feet. Your attention is drawn from the horizon upward to the tear, where you see its right edge quiver and then open further, ripping away even more of the sky. As you watch the void of the tear widen, you swear for just a moment you see the gleam of movement within. You all watch in disbelief, uncertain of anything but the perilous gravity of the event. Moments later, the light begins to fade and withdraw, and the tear ceases its expansion, leaving you once again in darkness. You turn to each other, eyes wide with shock, but hearts at a loss for words. Poofers opens her mouth to speak, but she's cut short by the appearance of a single streak of red light that tears across the sky, flying at unimaginable speeds from the south toward the north, the horizon where the light appeared. You all watch it with confusion and surprise as it passes overhead and away, but this confusion turns to terror as you see the lightning seem to halt and turn back toward you. And before you're able to react, it arrives and crashes into the sand about 30 feet away, casting dirt and dust into the air. Your view of the sight is obscured by a cloud of sand and smoke, through which pulses tiny veins of red electricity that crackle with wild energy. You all watch in silence, moving your hands to your weapons and preparing for what comes. You hear the unmistakable stunk of a heavy item placed into the sand. You hear a soft but coarse grunt as weight is shifted and something rights itself within, an action betrayed by the noise of falling sand. You hear the heavy weight of metallic boots upon shifting dirt. One step, then another, and with each step your view becomes clearer. Through the dust and smoke you see glowing, piercing eyes through the darkness, looking straight at you. Found you. Shink! A flash of metal appears between you and the newcomer, cutting through and clearing the cloud. The weapon is brought round to rest on the newcomer's shoulders as they glare at you intently, unmoving but painfully threatening by their presence alone. You remember this person. You're not sure who or what they are, what they want, why they want it, or why they seem so interested in you, especially now. In fact, the only thing of which you're certain is that they are dangerous. Now they stand before you, armed, strong, lips unbound, and free. Avi has found you. And
God damn it, Avi.
you will notice in the context channel of our Discord, I will be sharing an image which is incomplete in that I didn't have time to shade it, but I will be sending a complete version when I go before. Here we go. Come on, computer, no lagging. Here we go. And that is where we will be calling the session tonight.
Oh no, she's hot!
Well,
But yeah, that's it.
no rest for
That
us,
was
I
fun.
guess.
Oof.
Jeez. Wow. Cliffhanger alert.
No good
Yeah.
deed, guys. No good
No,
deed.
apparently not. Thank you to the people that followed and rated Pyro Club, Friendships and Flagons, Bunch of Moon, Paperclip Hearts. We'll be back Sunday at 7. See you then.